to the Valpo Sports Radio Network, the home.
Screen from Tricky. Reedinger shoots a deep three. And he makes it! Preston Reedinger has given Valpo the lead with 1:15 to go.
From the game-winning touchdown to the last-second shot, the Valpo Sports Radio Network brings you every game for your Beacons.
Then kicks it back out to Brown. Brown puts up a three. That one drains in. Olivia Brown for three.
On air at 95.1 FM and streaming live at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from the Athletics Recreational Center on the campus of Valparaiso University for tonight's men's basketball non-conference matchup featuring the home team on the scoreboard, the 1 and 2 Valparaiso Beacons, who are coached by Matt Loddick, who is in his 7th season as head coach of the Beacons, and the visiting team, the 1 and 2 Incarnate Word Cardinals, who are coached by Carson Cunningham, who is in his 4th season as a head coach of the Cardinals. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Zach Collins alongside Noah Godsell. We're just about 20 minutes away from tip-off, and now we'll start here with the Northwest South men's basketball pregame show right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network, WVUR, The Source 95. Noah, let's just start by talking about the Beacons in their last game against Chicago State, because, no, it was anything but good for the Beacons in the first half, as the game was 49-24, and that was a halftime score.
Yeah.
I mean, just crazy to look at that in itself. Valpo came back and kind of inched their way into the game once again in the second half as they scored more than double their first half total of 50. But it was just not enough as the Cougars defeated the Beacons 87-74. Kirky led with 27 points in the game. It was just shy of his career high of 28 points overall. It was Ben's 54th career double-double and was the leading player in blocks as well with one. They only had one block in that game. Not a very good defensive game, as you can see from the score either. King had 6 rebounds and put up 11 on the board, and Nick Edwards finished with a double-double, first of his Valpo career and 25th of his career overall. I mean, Noah, you really can't look at this game. You can't, analyze this game and really look over it. It was just not a pretty game. What do the Beacons have to do differently here tonight?
I mean, they just got to not worry about that at all. It's just one of those. You go into playing Chicago State and you think, oh, yeah, easy win, we got this. And obviously it wasn't an easy win. Chicago State was lights out. They literally could not miss, quite literally. I mean, they missed 2 threes out of their first 11 attempts. And Valpo just looked stunned out there. It's one of those where you should beat Chicago State, and you got to use that as motivation the rest of the year. Someone's going to look at your schedule, and just think about these fans. Like, let's say you're playing Missouri State. All these fans are going to see it and be like, man, Valpo sucks. They lost to Chicago State. That's just motivation for the rest of the year because they know they should have won that game. Everyone else knows they should have won that game. So it's just one of those, it's got to light a fire under you. And if it doesn't, then you got to question your passion for the sport.
Right. I mean, it's a thing that, we talk about a lot of the time. Chicago State, I even talked to Oliver Vanovskis about this in the women's game. Chicago State, kind of a developing program once again with all their athletics. But after that win for Chicago State and the Cougars, I mean, that's just undeniable that Valpo's got a lot of things to work on in the coming future.
Yeah, I mean, Chicago State isn't as bad as what the paper says. They've gotten a lot of new recruits, a lot of young, talented players, and they have nice facilities and stuff, too. So it's not like you're going to this dump school that you don't want to do anything and don't want to be there. It's a nice place. It's not this joke of a place to be at. Just like, oh, Chicago State, why are they Division I? Like, they're a legit Division I program. Obviously, they're not the most successful athletically, but their men's basketball team isn't as bad as what they are, what people think they are, which people think they are like the bottom when they're a little higher than that.
A little bit higher, but Valpo's hoping to get back on their high horse here tonight, as we'd like to remind you that the Valpo men's basketball pregame show is brought to you by Calumet Brewing, Custonia Tractor, Wings, etc., Lakeshore Bone and Joint, Northwest Health, First Source Bank, Hungry Howie's, Culver's, IBEW, Royal Excursion, and Ticket Smarter. And once again, you're listening to the Northwest Health men's basketball pregame show right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Noah, tonight's contest will also represent Ben Cricky as he joins Valpo's 1,000 point club and is going to be recognized here shortly after these teams warm up tonight. He is also currently sitting in top of the valley in scoring average and ranks, according to just about 20 minutes ago, 4th in the nation in points per game. He's also just 149 points away from dialing into the top 20 in Valpo scoring history. And if he continues on his average of 25 points per game and above, it only takes 6 games for the senior to edge his way into the top 20. And, I mean, who says he doesn't even edge into the top 10 after this?
Yeah, I'd be shocked if Ben does not find his way into the top 10 after the season. And it's quite impressive because Ben didn't play a ton his freshman year, wasn't? So that's basically 2 years of experience playing a lot where he's almost at the top 20 already, which is quite impressive. And, I mean, yes, this number is impressive, but I would not be shocked if Ben keeps this up this season. I mean, people don't realize how good Ben is just because he's not a three-point shooter and he's averaging 24 points per game. He hasn't made a three this year yet. I mean, he's 0 for 6 on his threes on the season, and his footwork's incredible. Just his ability to create shots down low is insane. It's just, once you watch him, you realize how good he is, and Valpo is extremely blessed to have a guy like Ben Cricky on their team. And I mean, this could be his last year because he's quite that good where he won't need that last year of eligibility. He could probably go pro after this year.
Right, and I mean, the thing about Ben, too, is a lot of these teams, in college, they're like, oh, I want a three-point shooter. I want a good three-point shooter. And Ben Cricky's not that. He's your guy who's going to get you down low. He's going to drive to the basket every single time. And he's going to get the easy buckets that a lot of players, might take a three-point shot on. And, to me, as a, watching as a announcer, as a coach, that's what you like to see on the floor. You like to see a player who's tough down low, underneath the basket, a little bit of grit inside of him. That's what you like to see out of Ben Cricky.
Yeah, I mean, he's the heart and soul of this Valpo offense. I know a lot of focus on the duo of him and Kobe King, but there are points in the Chicago State game where Ben was the team's only hope on offense. And you could give it to Ben and you'd be like, okay, he's got one-on-one, he's scoring. Ben's scoring. So you got to focus a lot more on that. And if no one can stop Ben, just keep feeding it to him. Eventually he's going to draw double teams, which gets opportunities for other guys as well.
Exactly. Well, when we return, we'll meet the opponents, the Incarnate Word Cardinals, keys to the game, some conference standings, and get into the starting lineups. And the tip-off of this contest will follow shortly after. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Valpo men's basketball here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
TicketSmarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than TicketSmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99. Hungry Howie's!
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we are back here at the Athletics Recreational Center alongside Noah Godsell. I'm Zach Collins, and we'll continue here on our Northwest Health men's basketball pregame show right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Let's take a look into the Valley at some of tonight's games, which are brought to you by IBEW, the Powering America team of Northwest Indiana. I mean, Noah, looking at a couple games, we've got one actually in action. Belmont taking on George Mason.
Belmont just finished, yeah.
66-62, your final score. And, I mean, hey, you have like a little bit of a connection to George Mason from last time I checked, don't you?
Yes, my brother goes to graduate school at George Mason, and it's also funny because they're taking on Belmont, who was my second choice behind Valpo.
Hey, I mean, you never get that very often now, do you? I mean, that's kind of a rare interest that you're going to see, especially in terms of basketball. You don't really get too many things happening like that. We're joined up here by associate head coach of the Beacons, Luke Gore. Coach, first off, how are you doing tonight?
Good. I'm excited to play and excited to be back in Valpo.
Now, Coach, you're looking for your second straight home win here tonight. What's the contest? How are we looking to get this here tonight?
We as we continue to build on our team in the process of getting better, can we impose our will? We're playing another team that plays a different style than we haven't faced. I mean, they play a different defensive style than we faced, and so adjusting. That's the beauty of these games, and doing it in front of our home crowd is exciting.
You've got Charlie Yoder coming here to the Arc, one of the top scorers in this league. And looking at Yoder overall, averages 15 points a game, about 4.3 rebounds per game. Now, it's a few games into the season, but how are you looking to defend him here tonight? Charlie's,
if you know anybody, he played at Westview. His dad is a tremendous coach. He's not coaching right now, but an amazing high school coach and coach in general. And his aunt's a heck of a cheerleading coach. So she's our Valpo cheerleading coach. So know the family well, love the family. Charlie is a left-hand kid, loves to go left. He can shoot it. He's got some grit to him. He gets to the rim. So he does a little bit of everything. He's always looking to score. So it'll be a challenge, but we'll get after him.
Now, Coach, Ben's had 27 points in the last two games, averages 24 points per game coming into this contest. How are you looking for him to perform here tonight?
I hope he just keeps scoring 27 points and we win games. So Ben works his tail off. So if he has a down game, it's not because he's not trying. It's going to be the ball doesn't go in, or the other team defends him, takes him away, and can the other guy step up and make shots when he can't get as many shots as we want him to get? Can the other guys make him pay for it? So I'm never worried about Ben's attitude or effort coming into a game.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it on our pregame show here. Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
And that is associate head coach of the Beacons, Luke Gore. It's always a great pleasure being able to talk to him before every single game in this contest. And a couple of other scores that we've got from around the Valley. Middle Tennessee 51, Missouri State 75. A big score there for the Bears. Evansville losing to SMU 55-47. Bradley losing to Southeast Missouri State 73-60. And Fordham taking on UIC. Fordham beating UIC 79-65. The final scores there around the Valley. Noah, does any score there surprise you, or does it seem like, same old Valley?
Nothing surprising here. I mean, Middle Tennessee does have a reputation for being a solid program. I think they've been a little bit down. So Missouri State winning by a big margin. Not too surprising. But Missouri State also supposed to have a down year this year, losing their best guy, two of their best guys in Gage Prim and Isaiah Mosley. But, a fun little fact that I saw, Drake is currently 3-0, but all three of those games, Drake has scored 80 points exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very rare thing that you're going to get. Especially to score the same every single time. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, in their last two games in a row, it's been, I think it was 80-72. They won.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. You really don't get that very often in terms of scoring. That's a rarity in college basketball. So, no, actually, let's take a look into Incarnate Word. They're coming off their first win this week against Texas Lutheran University. Charlie Yoder, who we mentioned a little bit in some of the questions in our questioning with associate head coach Luke Gore, actually led the Cardinals in scoring at 24.7 rebounds, just short of a double-double. This was actually a good win for the Cardinals. This last season, the Bulldogs went 10-15. We're 8-8 in the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference, so pretty good win for them coming into that one. Noah, when we look at Incarnate Word, they're actually ranked at the bottom of the Ken Palm ratings. They're third from last. They're sitting at 360th. There's 363 different teams in those rankings.
Well, you know who else was sitting at 360th?
Who's that?
Chicago State.
Right. So, really, you can't look at this game with a grain of salt. Really, Valpo's going to have to continue to fight this one because, man, that game against Chicago State was not one that you want to continue to watch and film.
I do want to emphasize Chicago State was absolutely unreal in the first half, and Valpo absolutely blew them out of the water in the second half. Still lost by 12 because it's such a huge deficit in that first half, but it was absolutely unbelievable. Some of the shots they hit, it was just heat check after heat check, and they're all going in. But something I'm looking for today, Kobe King seemed to be forcing a lot of shots in that Chicago State game. He just needs to stay patient. He's got a lot of weapons on this team. Obviously, he has Ben Kirky, but he has other guys like Quentin Green, Preston Reedinger, other guys who can score that he can utilize.
And Noah, some of the keys to the game, which are brought to you tonight by Royal Excursion, the travel partner of Valparaiso Athletics. Looking at Valpo, don't be afraid to shoot the three here tonight.
Yeah.
You want to be able to press up. You want to be able to come into this game shooting a three very well, still continue to drive to the basket, rely on Ben Cricky down low, and just focus on ball handling. A lot of what this team did in that game against Chicago State, turnover. That's all ball handling, and that's a lot of ball handling errors from Valpo in that last game as well. Really have to control the basketball here tonight.
Yeah, maybe pull some Bellarmine action. Just don't dribble. Right. Just pass the ball as much as you can. Obviously, that's a little excessive because Valpo has really good ball handlers in Nick Edwards and Darius D'Avero, but just move the ball, limit the turnovers. It's been a problem for this team so far this season, so just got to keep that turnover number down because when that's higher, it seems like Valpo is setting themselves up for failure.
Let's take a look into tonight's starting lineups, which are brought to you by Northwest Health. Schedule an appointment today at mycarenorthwesthealth.com. Let's actually look at Incarnate Word. And starting for the Cardinals, number 2, Charlie Yoder. Number 5, Brandon Swaby. Number 12, Nikki Kraus. Number 24, Benjamin Gristy. And number 25, Trey Miller. And they are coached by Carson Cunningham. Currently, they are actually giving Ben Cricky his 1,000-point club basketball. So congratulations to Ben Cricky. A huge achievement for the senior.
Yeah, Ben's an absolute legend. That's the best way I can say it. And he's proud. He's given out a not very common big smile. You don't see that too often on the court from Ben Cricky.
It's not something you see very often out of him. He's kind of a bit of a shyer kind of guy on the floor, but great guy overall, great basketball player. We're actually going to pause here for the national anthem, so we'll be right back in just 1 minute on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
There's no need to fear. The First Source Bank mobile app is here. As fast as a mobile deposit. Built to pay bills instantaneously. Powered to balance budgets. And with a simple tap, a call is placed for that personal touch. All this power is disguised as a mild-mannered app on your phone, ready to fight for your financial freedom.
Live on WVOR 95.1 and streaming at WVORthesource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we are back here in the Athletics Recreational Center. I'm Zach Allen, sitting alongside Noah Godsell. Noah, let's look into some of the starting lineups for the Beacons before they announce them here. It's going to be number 4, Darius D'Avero. Number 14, Quentin Green. Number 23, Ben Cricky. Number 33, Jerome Palm. And number 35, Kobe King. Of course, they're coached by Matt Loddick in his 7th season here at Valparaiso. And, looking at this overall, Kobe King, a pretty good player, averaged about 11 points. Came into this, had 11 points in the last game against Chicago State, pulled down 6 rebounds. What are you expecting out of him here in this game tonight?
I think we're going to see a little bit more relaxed Kobe King, just not really pushing to score as much. Obviously, he has a lethal scorer in Ben Cricky on his side, and I think once they get Ben going a little bit more, it opens up Kobe as well. And maybe looking to dish it out to guys like Quentin Green as well, who's been shooting quite lights out since he's been on campus here.
And, we're really looking forward to seeing how he plays here tonight, how Ben comes into this contest tonight to play against Incarnate Word. And, we mentioned Incarnate Word, not one of the better teams overall. They're 7-25 last season. They're 3-11 in the SEC, which is the Southland Conference. And, not too great in terms of how they played last season. They added on a couple of little pieces here and there of the redshirt freshman coming in, Devontae Dennis. They got Reggie Abram coming in this season. They've also had Nikki Kraus and a couple of others as well. It's a lineup of pretty much freshmen. Stefan Payne, the third, a freshman as well. Benjamin Grisky, a freshman as well. Trey Miller, also a freshman. Gabe Benny-Till, also a freshman. Looking at this, you've got pretty much a lineup of freshmen. You've got one senior, you've got a sophomore, and you've got two juniors who have played so far in this season. They've got a couple others, but talking about just the key points, it's a pretty young team. And a pretty young team that's only played 3 games so far.
Yeah, I mean, young teams will come for these games just to gain more experience. I think that's what Incarnate Word is looking for this season. Just play these young guys and get them as much experience as they can, just to allow them to develop as much as they can, where in a couple of years they could be a contender in their conference.
And let's actually take a look to some of the conference standings as they are currently standing, which are brought to you by First Source Bank. Strong, stable, local, personal banking. That's First Source Bank. 2 teams undefeated so far, Drake and Indiana State. Now, Indiana State, what a surprise on that list.
Yeah, I mean, I am shocked. They were picked to finish, I think, second last?
Second to last.
Second to last in the conference. So I don't know who they played so far, but I'll have to take a look at that. But something that's standing out to me, Southern Illinois, they are 3-1, but that one loss is coming to Southern Indiana of all the teams they played. They've beaten Oklahoma State this year as well, too.
That's crazy. I mean, Southern Indiana just becoming a D1 school.
Yeah.
And losing, I mean, that's tough. But at the same time, you said, beat Oklahoma State. That's a big win for them. And sometimes, Valpo loses to Chicago State. They lose to Southern Indiana. You never know really what's going to happen in a game.
Capiche, capoche,
exactly.
The same thing.
You never know what's going to happen. So definitely some surprises there. Bradley right behind, sitting at 2-1. Also sitting at 2-1 is Missouri State and UIC. Sitting at 2-2 is Illinois State, Murray State. UNI above Valparaiso at 1-1. Valpo is, of course, 1-2. Right behind is Belmont at 1-3. Now 1-4 according to the current record, and Evansville sitting at 1-3 as well. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to our Northwest Health Valpo men's basketball pregame show, and remind you that the pregame show is always brought to you by Calumet Brewing, Custonia Tractor, Wings, etc., Lakeshore Bone and Joint, Northwest Health, First Source Bank, Hungry Howie's, Culver's, IBEW, Royal Excursion, and Ticket Smarter. Valpo's wearing their, favorite personal uniforms of mine. Their home white uniforms with brown trim and gold lettering. They've got almost like a Pittsburgh Steelers throwback uniform stripe on the side.
I love stripes.
And you know what? It looks horrible in the Steelers uniform, but it looked amazing on these Valpo uniforms.
Yeah.
In this game.
But growing up, I always watched Marquette, and they had the stripes, and I always loved those. They got rid of them, actually. But I'm seeing these new Valpo jerseys with the stripes on the sides. I love them.
They're beautiful, and UIW is wearing their red jerseys with black trim and white lettering. Valpo, we're going from left to right, and Incarnate Word will be going from right to left as we are tipping off here. Incarnate Word winning the tip-off, and we're starting action here in the first half. Officials already blowing their whistle to start things off. They didn't start the shot clock.
Oops. They're too busy watching the jump ball. Something to point out to Jerome Palm doing the tip-off today. He's been starting at center. But no Joe Hedstrom today. He looks like he has a foot injury.
And that's, a pretty big loss. I mean, Joe Hedstrom can come in and play some good defense in this game. Not much of an offensive player on the floor, but overall pretty good defensive player for this Beacon squad. As UNW currently holds the ball as Miller dribbles. He's at the V of the Valpo center floor. Drive to the right. Goes behind the back. Stolen away by King. Now stolen. It's going to be a foul called on Trey Miller as he tried driving down the floor after Kobe King kind of went. Reach-in foul by Miller.
Yeah, Trey Miller just trying to get a little bit too fancy there. I believe Darius poked it away, and Kobe King able to pick it up. Had a fast break opportunity there. Probably would have gotten slowed down there, but Trey Miller fouls him before anything could have happened. Another shot clock malfunction.
I mean, man, it's tough to make sure you keep that shot clock in order.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 3 buttons to control.
True.
I've gotten to help run the shot clock before. It's quite fun, actually, but I don't know what's going on so far. Already 2 problems with the shot clock.
Officials are currently talking it over as well. Says there's 29 seconds on the shot clock, 19:32 in the first half. I mean, we're not even 30 seconds in. We've already had 2 little malfunctions.
Oh, and they're putting it back to 20.
Okay. Well, That's interesting. Let's continue here as the ball is inbounded, touched away immediately by Miller. Green's going to take it out of bounds on the far side once again in front of the scorers table. Diavero gets the inbound. Go across the timeline. Goes far side for Green. Green gets it to Palm. Now to Diavero on the near side. Bounce pass to King, top of the key. Tries going down low to Palm. Can't find him.
Beacon basketball.
It's going to be touched out of bounds last by Incarnate Word's number 5, Brandon Swaby. And they've got just 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Ben Kirky yet to touch the ball so far.
Diavero far side underneath his own basket. Going to be taking this ball out of bounds. Trying to find any way to get it in. He gets it into Palm. Kicks it out far side for Diavero. Puts up a shot. Gets blocked away. Shot clock violation.
Valpo, just a lot of exterior passes there with no intent to get to the basket there. Just a wasted possession by the Beacons.
I mean, they get a good takeaway. Had a little bit of time to set up a play, and really nothing worked out for the Beacons on that last one as Incarnate Word now has possession. Kraus, bounce pass inside of Gristi. Goes far side, stolen away by King. Another turnover for the Cardinals. Gets it to Green and slams it down. Quentin Green.
The first source.
That's one way to start off.
Yeah, Quentin Green's got some bounce. We get to see it there. We got to see it against Western Michigan, but he's so explosive off the ground.
Man, that's one way to start off. 2-0 lead here early for the Beacons. Kraus, top of the key. Tries to look inside, can't find anything. Passes right side, no, goes back to Kraus. Dribbles near side, now left block. Double team down low, kicks back out, top of the key for Miller. Miller dribbles in between his legs, kicks far side, three-pointer shot by Swaby. That one falls through.
Swaby staring down the Valpo bench. A little early to be staring down anyone right now.
King, jump shot, no good. Rebound by Cricky. He's triple teamed up in the paint. He kicks it back out. Diavero now with the ball as he dribbles near side. Tries to cut in. Stolen away for just a second. Now stolen away here. And a foul is going to be on Diavero as he tried to get that ball away from Trey Miller after the steal.
Yeah, Diavero very limited on his turnovers. Only one in the last 2 games. Well, 2 total, but 1 per game in the last 2 games. And one of those games he had 10 assists.
Man, that's just a bad takeaway for him. I mean, he thought he had the open lane, but really it was heavily defended with his own defense. He just pressed in. Now Incarnate Word with the ball. Top of the key is Gristi. Now gets it near side for Kraus. Kraus dribbles to the right. Can't find an open lane. Switch off by the defense. Now gets it to Miller. Back to Kraus near side. Screen up top. Drives to the left. Can't find an open gap. Kicks it back out for Gristi. Now here for Miller. Shot clock violation. Couldn't get it off. That's good defense by Valpo.
Yeah, great defense. You know, something that I was seeing that I just thought was kind of funny. Gristi setting a lot of screens on Diavero, and they're completely legal screens. Right. Diavero is just so much smaller. It looks like he's just getting thrown around in there. It looks illegal, but they're completely clean. Diavero just flying around.
But Diavero, I mean, a tough player, very athletic, strong on the floor, one of my favorite guards to watch in college basketball. Palm now ball, top of the key, gives it to Diavero. Tries to look inside, top of the key, goes far side for King. Now in the corner for Green. Inside for Kirky, he dribbles out, kicks it back out to Palm, far side, 7 on the shot clock. He tries driving double team. Bounce pass to Kirky, he's at the 3-point mark. Jump shot by Kirky, no good, and it's going to be a rebound by Miller. Miller passes up quickly. Swaby goes up with the layup and misses it on the reverse.
Surprised that one didn't actually get blocked there.
It was a close attempt, but not able to get that one in. King now driving here for the Beacons, puts up a shot, doesn't even touch rim, gets blocked away. Looked to be a hand of a lower defender, and Incarnate Word now driving here. Gets it to Yoder, near side, 3-pointer, no good. Rebound by Griski. He kicks it out now for Miller. Now gets it for Swaby, and now for Griski again. Screen once again, as you see top of the key. A lot of screens we're going to see at this top of the key from Griski. Now trying to drive in here is Kraus. Bounce pass, and he travels before the bounce pass.
Great defense so far by the Beacons. Incarnate Word's only field goal was a 3-pointer, but it was a tough shot with a hand in his face. So, I mean, if the Beacons can keep this up, good things are to come. But Valpo needs to score.
I mean, 2 scoring droughts. Right, we've seen 2 scoring droughts. Valpo hasn't scored the last 2:40 And we're looking at Incarnate Word. They haven't scored in the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So quite some time since we've seen the last scores. It's still 3-2. 16 minutes left to go in the first half. Inside pass to Cricky. He's fouled on the floor.
Looks like we're going to go into immediate timeout.
Getting up. And it's going to be on Yoder, team second, and his first. We're going to take a media timeout here. We'll be right back in 60 seconds from Van Wagner. This is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of your...
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry Howie's! Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day. Oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Live on WVUR 90 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Tonight's broadcast of Valpo basketball is brought to you by Culver's. Enjoy the Culver's Deluxe layered with real Wisconsin cheese, crisp lettuce, white tomatoes, pickles, sweet red onion, and our signature mayo. It's topped with a lightly buttered toasted bun. It's our Butterburger at its best. Welcome to Delicious. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Noah Godsell. We're right back here in the Arc. Not much of a score for you here. It's 3-2. Incarnate Word leading with 15:58 left to go in this first half. And Noah, really what we've seen so far is just good defense from both of these teams.
Yeah, great defense so far. And as we heard before the game, that Incarnate Word is a different defense that Valpo hasn't seen so far. So I think it's just going to take a little bit of an adjustment here just to figure out where the gaps are in this defense, how they can get through this Incarnate Word defense and get some points up on the board.
I mean, we'll really see how both of these teams continue to compete. I mean, Incarnate Word looks like they haven't seen a Valpo zone defense ever before. And, you know, Valpo, they run a good defense, you know, nothing to them, but it's not, you know, this crazy zone defense that no one's ever seen before. It's,
yeah.
You know, it's a little bit, it's not a basic zone, it's a little bit more advanced than that, but at the same time, I'm surprised that we haven't seen too much scoring out of either one of these teams so far.
Yeah.
Diavero to inbound the ball underneath his own hoop. Gets it inside to Cricky, far side. Kicks it for Palm. Now to King. King tries driving in. Bounce pass to Cricky. It's going to be stolen away by Incarnate Word. Miller drives it. Gets blocked away. Wow. Trey Miller thought he had an open lane. And Valpo said, oh, no, you don't.
You never have an open lane on the fast break against Valpo.
Green now near side. Gets it to Palm, top of the key. Tries to look in. Gets it to King, far side. King heavily defended by Swaby. Now gets it to Green, near side. 8 on the shot clock. Green, three-pointer, no good. Hit the backboard, then just rolled around the rim. Kraus now dribbling towards the right. Now goes left, trying to go. 2 steps, hands it off to Dennis. Puts up a shot, lands that one down. Finally hits a scoring drought somewhere after 3 minutes of no score from Incarnate Word, and we still haven't seen anything from the Beacons. Green now to Palm, top of the key. Goes to Diavero, far side. He tries driving in. Now at the left block, kicks out for Green. Now it's kicked out for Green. That's a three-pointer for Quentin Green.
Quentin Green, all the scoring for Valpo so far. Looks like Ben Cricky's getting a lot of mismatches down low, deciding not to toss it to him so far.
A lot of mismatches, but at the same time, he's been open a few times down low. They just missed him. in terms of this miscommunication we've seen so far in this first half. Trey Miller now near side. Tries to look inside for Kraus. Now goes to Dennis. Now back to Miller. Now inside for Kraus. He tries driving in left block. Now kicks it out for Swaby for three. That's no good in the far corner. And rebound by Diavero. Diavero now to Green. Tries to look inside for Cricky. And it looks like it's going to land a foul and Devontae Dennis of the Cardinals.
So it looks like the strategy on Ben Cricky, if they dump it inside to him, is foul. That's the second time that this has happened, where a toss into Ben Cricky would have been an easy score for Ben and got hacked.
But, I mean, one thing, too, I mean, you don't want Cricky to score, but you don't want to give up so many fouls to the point where you're letting Cricky go to the line, because so far, I mean, he's only 7 of 10, shooting 70% coming into this game. But, I mean, hey, he can always surprise you on the floor. Nick Edwards now checking in the game. Gets it to Kobe King. King, far side, heavily defended once again. Kicks out, goes right for Edwards. Edwards now top of the key for Cricky. Cricky tries driving left, goes to King. King fakes, now hand Cricky. 4-3, that one falls through for Ben Cricky, his first three of the season.
I'm sure Ben is very happy to see that one fall. Made 3 in the exhibition game earlier in the season, but he has struggled with it his career here at Valpo.
What a shot by Cricky. Kraus now tries driving in, kicks out for Swaby. Swaby dribbles in, kicks out once again for Kraus, top of the key. Kraus tries driving left. Valpo switching off a lot of defenders here. Yoder out the ball, fadeaway jumper, misses that one, and a rebound by the Beacons of Maximus Nelson.
Nick Edwards almost lost that one because the ref got in his way.
We've seen it in the NFL a few times, but haven't seen it too much in college basketball so far.
Oh.
Cricky dribbles behind the back, drives in, and doesn't get it to fall. Official calling a foul, and a Cardinal on the floor. Got hit hard as Cricky went up. Looks like he's going to get up and be all right.
One ref almost called a charge, and the other was like, no. That was a block. So Ben's going to be shooting 2 free throws here.
The far official called the foul. The official underneath the basket was going to call the charge.
Well, he was like very, very unconfident.
Yes.
Like he barely pointed in front of him, and the other ref's like, no.
Well, that's when you're not sure as an official. You just take over for the other guy.
Yeah.
You know what? I had a better angle.
It was
just this time.
It definitely was the right call there.
Right.
Just a little bit of movement under the hoop.
Cricky makes the first. Put it in a 9-5 Valpo lead. 12:57 left to go here in the first half. And as I mentioned, coming into this, Cricky was 70% from the line, 7 of 10. The Albertan native, actually majoring in business. I've seen him in the business building quite a lot here at Valpo as he makes both at the line.
Yeah, apparently Ben overheard some people in the business school talking bad about the intramural refs, and I happen to be one of those.
Wow, I'm so sorry about that.
It's okay. He told me to quit my job, so.
I mean, maybe you should become a college basketball official, Noah.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Maybe you should. Or even high school official. They're a little bit low lately. Make some good money on the side. We'll get back at it. Jonathan Seas tries kicking it out. Yeah, let's get back at it. Miller driving in and stolen away quickly by Green. Given to Cricky. Slams it down. Kobe King. Wow. Quentin Green getting it to King. I thought he was going to go to Cricky. He gets to King even in front of him. And Incarnate Word's going to take a timeout.
Man. Wow. Kobe King, I mean, I thought there's no way he was going to be able to get up. He just got to the basket so fast. He's so sneakily fast. Just got up there and threw that one down.
I mean, it was almost like impressive to watch how fast Kobe King was going down the side. I mean, I honestly thought he was going to go to Cricky. And instead he goes in front of Cricky to King. It was barely, open at the time, and he just drives in wide open, slams it down.
Yeah, Valpo on a 10-0 run now after that Kobe King dunk. I mean, I love seeing Valpo throw some dunks down. They have some incredible athletes. Quentin Green can do some crazy things. Kobe King, we've seen videos on his Instagram of him throwing down some dunks. Ben can do more than you think. His verticals actually increased this offseason, as I have been told. New fitness and strength and conditioning coach Vijay Blackman for these Beacons, and the players love him.
Right. I've heard great things about him. And even in the offseason, they were saying, man, we love this guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's done great things. There's an example I always bring up. Nick Edwards would post something, what he looked like before he came to Valpo, or like right when he got to Valpo, and then right before the school year started. He put on like 30 pounds, and it looked like it was all muscle. He increases vertical by 4 inches. He increases bench press by like 60 pounds. Like, wow. That was all from coming to Valpo. So this guy's legit. And, I mean, we can see Valpo just seems fast, quick, just quick first step, explosive. There's a lot of things. It's just the tiny things. The smallest things are what can separate two teams. And one of those things that Valpo did struggle with last year was staying in shape, staying healthy. When you do work out a lot and have a good fitness program and conditioning program, it limits injuries. It really does. And the players were working hard this summer, even if they couldn't be on campus right away. Vijay sent in workouts to the players to do on their own at home. So it's going to do great things for this program if they can keep them around for a long time. But typically when you have someone who's that good at his job and they're at Valpo, they don't stick around for too long.
Right, but I mean, looking at it, at a recruiting standpoint, be like, look at what we've done with, look at Nick Edwards, for example, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Look what we've done with Nick Edwards. We have one of the best strength and conditioning coaches. We're a program that's continuing to get better. I mean, for an athlete that's looking on the outside, I want to be in. I want to be here.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what brings in athletes that are extremely motivated and just want to make the best version of themselves.
Josh Morgan checking in for the Cardinals, as well as Devontae Dennis checking back in. He gets it to Kraus on the far side. Screen out top by Sissy. As Kraus tries driving in, it's going to be a foul on the interior.
I think they're going to get Maximus Nelson with the push there, yes. Just a little too handsy there from Maximus.
That'll be his first and the team's second. Just under 12 minutes remaining here in this first half. Incarnate Word about to take the ball out of bounds underneath their own basket. Get it into Nikki Kraus. Now kicks it out for Morgan. Back to Kraus, near side, three-point perimeter. Heavily guarded by Edwards. It's going to be a foul by Edwards. Wow, didn't even see a reach-in on that one.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him for the hand check there. He was guarding with one hand in and the other one out, and the ref calls like a knee. Like he stuck his knee up on the foul call, so I guess Nick Edwards using the legs, not the hands.
I mean, hey, it's kind of like soccer. You don't want to use your feet in basketball, and in soccer you don't want to use your hands in soccer, so just a bit different there. Trey Miller now gets it to Kraus, far side. Screen for Kraus. Doesn't work as Valpo switches immediately, and now pass to Sissy. He step back jumper, three-pointer, and oh my goodness, the junior lands that one down.
Great defense by Valpo there. Really nothing you can do about that. We've never seen a shot like that go in, except for Sheldon Edwards last year against Loyola.
Wow, what a shot. Valpo trying to answer back. Cricky near side. Dribbles far side, tries to look for Green. Gets it for Green. Here's the jumper by Green. That's missed. Rebound by Cricky. Puts up a floater, and that one falls through for Ben Cricky.
He makes it look so easy. A shot like that is very tough. I'll be taking that wide open warm-ups, and I brick it every single time.
I mean, you're lucky you even touch rim. I don't even do that.
Hey.
Dennis drives in. It's the backboard and nothing else, and it's going to be a rebound by Green. Edwards quickly going down the floor. Lost control for just a second. Now regains it. He's on the near side. Goes side with the key for Cricky. Dribbles left. Gets it to King. King in between his legs. Heavily guarded once again. He's guarded by Morgan this time. Pushes in. It's going to be a charge on Kobe King as Morgan fell to the floor.
Yeah, Kobe King just getting a little too aggressive there, trying to back down Morgan and drop the shoulder into him. That's the right call there.
King, he attempts to go to the basket a lot, and we're really seeing the Cardinals play a specific defense on him to where, they got the hands up the entire time. They're continuing to, kind of allow him to go to that right side a little bit, but just continuing to defend the basket. That's the kind of defense you want to see if you're looking on the sidelines of Coach Cunningham.
Yeah, textbook defense there.
14-8, just under 10:30 here remains in the first half. Drives in Cardinals, and a foul's going to be underneath. It's going to land on number 10, Jonathan Cease. That'll be his first.
Yeah, Quentin Green going for the rebound there. Just got a little poke on the chin. I mean, he should have secured that rebound. When it pops out, that's a sign that there's a foul.
Edwards slowly going down the floor, here. As he dribbles towards the right side. Gets it here. 4-3 for Nelson. Misses that one. Green trying to keep it in, but he can only just catch it. He tried to throw it back with the one hand. Tried to, just kind of catch it in and throw it back. Just didn't have enough time.
Yeah. Something we've seen, at least in the past couple of games, Valpo really trying to push the pace today.
Right.
Slowing it down a lot.
I mean, it's different to see a Valpo team, kind of slow things down. We're used to seeing, like the fast break play that we saw from Kobe King. And normally, that's what we're used to seeing out of this Valpo team. They're trying to set up a lot of plays. Incarnate Word tries to do the same, but Incarnate Word, the difference is they try to screen up top a lot as Krause tries to kick out here for Sissy. Now gets it to Miller. Puts that one up off the glass and in. 14-10, Valpo up by 4.
Yeah, great play set up there for Incarnate Word.
Edwards, a miscommunication with Nelson. Green falling on the floor, able to get that one. And Barrett now getting it to Nelson. This one's for 3, no good. Rebound by Morgan. That was a quick transition for the Beacons, not able to knock one down. Driving in now for Incarnate Word is Krause. Gets it to Sissy. Sissy gets it to Gristi for 3. The big man knocks that one down, sitting at 6'11". The freshman center knocks that one through for 3.
And now it's a 1-point game.
Edwards for Cricky, far side three-pointer, misses that one as it bricks off the rim, and a rebound by Nikki Krause. Jonathan Sissy coming down the floor quickly, kicks it out for Gristi. Now for Sissy once again. Three-pointer, top of the key, knocks that one through, makes it look easy. Wow, the junior making that look like I could even go out there and do it. And a timeout called by the Beacons.
Yeah, Incarnate Word starting to catch fire here. Now shooting 60% from 3 on the game.
We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back in 90 seconds. Your score, Incarnate Word 16, Valpo 14. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Ticket Smarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than Ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets. Live on WVUR 90 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we are back here in the Athletics Recreational Center for some Valpo basketball. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Noah Godsell. Valpo currently with the ball as Cricky hands it off for Barrett. Now gets it to King near side. Bounce pass inside towards that right block for Cricky. He tries driving in. He's triple team, puts up a jump shot, but he's going to be called a travel before the shot attempt by the far official.
Yeah, Ben switched the pivot foot there, getting called for the travel there.
I mean, it's a good call. You can't lie with that one. As he tried driving in, it was a good attempt by Cricky, but just one step too many on that last attempt. Miller now with the ball, hands it off to Krause. Krause is going to receive a screen. He'll go opposite side of the screen to the left. Krause going underneath the basket, blocked away by Barrett, and somehow maintained by Palm. Diavero gets it to King. This one's 4-3. Just barely touches rim and now goes out of bounds. I mean, a quick shot from Kobe King, but maybe almost too quick for Kobe King.
Yeah, Valpo not afraid to let it fly so far today, but not hitting them.
Not able to hit a few shots as Valpo's sitting at 25% from 3, and Incarnate Word sitting at 67%. They're 4 of 6 so far to start off this game. Miller tries going to the right. Bounce pass inside for Goriski. He puts up a jumper, and that one falls through off the glass, and he's going to get fouled, and he'll go for the three-point play here.
Yeah, Valpo getting a lot of good looks so far in this game, not hitting them, and Incarnate Word capitalizing on the misses.
And now we're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be right back here to break down some of the early start of this game. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Reinold and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strive to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. Come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse location, or check us out at heinold-feller.com. We look forward to many more years of providing you excellent service, because at our Heinold & Feller, your family matters to ours.
Preferred 4-to-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
There are sports bars everywhere these days, but there's only one place for award-winning jumbo wings, bigger beers, and better food and drink values all week long. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. We're so much more than wings. Enjoy wraps, salads, subs, seafoods, quesadillas, amazing appetizers, and awesome daily lunch food and drink specials. And now, when you can't eat here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Arch Madness tips off March 2nd through the 5th in St. Louis, and the MVC Fan Hangout at Ballpark Village is the best place to celebrate before and after games. Visit the MVC Fan Hangout to enjoy Ballpark Village restaurants, entertainment, and everything Arch Madness. For more information, visit archmadness.com/download the Arch Madness app tonight. We're back here in the Athletics Recreational Center. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Noah Godsell. Current score's 18-14. Incarnate Word leading over the Beacons. How have the Cardinals been able to do it so far, Noah?
I mean, they've just been moving the ball well, finding the open man, setting a lot of screens, getting some mismatches, and utilizing those mismatches. Last play there where we have Gritsky shooting the free throw here came off of a switch where he had Diavero on him instead of Palm.
He finishes three-point play as Benjamin Grisky went to the line. He went into this game shooting 1 of 4, 25% from the charity stripe. Now Kobe King trying to drive in, puts up a shot. That one falls through, and he gets fouled for the N1.
Kobe King needs to do a lot more of taking the ball to the hoop. He is so strong that people who will go up to contest against him, it honestly does nothing. And they're going to create contact, and that is a foul, and Kobe King is just able to finish strong.
And he makes it look easy. Finishes off the three-point play of his own. Puts it 17-19, 7:30 remaining here in the first half. Valpo down by 2. Krause bounce passes to Grisky into the near side. Hands it off to Miller. Miller looking in the interior. Can't find anything. Goes far side for Sissy. Sissy dribbles in between the legs. Goes underneath the basket. However, he's going to step out of bounds before the pass was made. And Valpo is going to get the basketball.
I know I praise Ben Cricky a lot, but Ben Cricky guarding a very quick guard there and able to just keep him contained, even though he's a lot bigger and not as fast, just able to stop him from getting a drive on him.
Palm now with the basketball goes top of the key for Cricky. Cricky gets it to Diavero, far side. He tries going in, kicks it out for Green. For 3, doesn't fall through, and somehow rebounded on Valpo's side by Palm. I mean, what a rebound from Jerome Palm as Diavero kicks out for Cricky. Now for Green, once again for 3, far side, misses that one, and it's going to be rebounded by Trey Miller as he quickly comes down the floor. Miller is going to miscombobulate with that basketball. It's going to be a double dribble, and Valpo easily getting that one. I mean, really didn't have to do much on defense. He just lost the basketball.
Yeah, lost control of it. Tried to keep going, but no, it was very much a double dribble, and the ref saw it and tried to argue for a second and immediately gave up.
You know, I should get a T-shirt that says "Just No" by Noah Godsell underneath. That'd be one heck of a T-shirt. Diavero drives in and gets the right-hander.
Diavero using his small build just to squeeze in between the defenders and lay that one up with the right hand.
Incarnate Word now with the basketball as Krause goes down the floor. Kicks it out for Swaby. Kicks it now out for Krause. Now far side for Sissy. Near side for Krause. 4-3. Drains that one in. for Nikki Krause.
Diavero right in his face there, but Krause, long arms, just the high release, able to get that one over him.
Let's see if Valpo can answer back after that high release from Krause. King near side gets it to Green, now to Cricky. This one's for 3 for Ben Cricky. He makes that one through. That's 2 for Cricky for 3.
And with a hand in his face as well, able to shoot with confidence even with a man in his face.
Can't ask for any better than that. We're tied 22 all. 5:30 here remaining in this first half as Nikki Krause dribbles towards the right side. Tries to look, goes to Grisky, top of the key. Now hands it off for Sissy. Sissy puts a hand out. Green, good defense by the freshman. Pulls back here for Sissy. Able to knock it away. Sissy getting his own rebound once again after the knockaway. And Valpo had a couple players almost could get that rebound, but Palm, being the taller one of the few, pulls that one down.
Sissy almost got that one too over Palm.
That would have been crazy if he was able to get that over a player standing at almost 7 feet of Jerome Palm. King near side dribbling, one-on-one, passes out for Diavero. 10 on the shot clock. Diavero goes cross court for Cricky. This one's for 3 once again for Ben Cricky. Misses that one, but just barely. And a rebound coming from number 25, Trey Miller. As a card at work, quickly coming down the floor here.
Ben thought he had that one too, started jogging down the court when he released it.
Krause drives in, right-hander off the glass, falls through for Nikki Krause.
Great pump fake there by Krause, getting Cricky off of his feet, able to get the open layup.
King trying to look for one of his own. Pulls back with the jumper. Falls through after rolled out of the rim for just a second. Went a little bit high and finally falls in.
Yeah, this is one of those shots when Kobe's feeling it. You let him take those.
24 all here. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Gliski, 4-3, misses that one. Rebound by Cricky. Quickly gets it to Diavero. Diavero goes left side, hand off to Green for 3. Breaks that one off, and it's going to be rebounded once again by Nikki Krause. Incarnate, we're going to slow things up here. Jonathan Sissy drives in, kicks out for Morgan. Now for Krause for 3. Breaks that one off, and a rebound in the interior. Somehow pulling that one down is Swaby. Now kick out for Sissy for 3 once again. Misses that one, found the interior, and that's going to land on number 24, Benjamin Grisky. That'll be his first.
Grisky's not wondering where the foul was, but he had his entire body weight on his forearm on Quentin Green. He's hunched over, pleading for a foul. The foul was called. But great ball movement there by Incarnate Word, just getting it around, lulling the zone to sleep, getting some good looks up, but unable to hit him. I mean, they got to start missing eventually. They were shooting about 70% from 3 before that.
We'll see what happens the rest of this first half. 3:28 remaining, 24 all for the Valpo and Incarnate Word. We'll be right back here from Van Wagner. This is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
One meal everyone in your family can get on board with? It's Culver's. You may know us for our famous butter burgers, cooked to order for that great signature steak taste, but we're also known for our whole white meat chicken tenders and juicy chicken sandwiches, and our melty Wisconsin cheese curds, and our hand-battered North Atlantic cod.
At Culver's, we believe more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. Welcome to Delicious.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURthesource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Hey, Valpo sports fans. The Wings Center Grill and Pub, located at 501 North Silhavy and East Chicago Street, has lunch specials featuring wings, burgers, wraps, rib tips, and more at amazing lunch prices. Weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stop by and visit them today. Can't dine in? Order online at togo.wingsetc.com. Wings Center Grill and Pub in Valparaiso. As Green goes to the line for the foul shots, he makes his first.
Shooting 1-1. Incarnate were a little too aggressive on the defensive end, gathering up too many fouls.
Knocks them both down, 26-24. Valpo now leading as Preston Riedinger checks in the game here for the Beacons.
Coming fresh off a back injury. Good to see Riedinger back out on the court.
Miller hands it off for Swaby. Swaby rolls out to that right side. Gets it for Yoder. Haven't seen too much of Yoder so far in this contest tonight as Krause now dribbles the basketball. Inside pass goes to Dennis. He puts up a jumper off the glass, falls through for Devontae Dennis.
Valpo jumping a little bit too much on the defensive end.
King put up a three. It was no good. Cricket tried to fight down low for that rebound, but Dennis winning that one down there. Easy pass down low for Miller. Misses that one on the wide open look. Kicked out to Swaby. Now to Krause. And now back to Trey Miller. Trey Miller taking a three here. Misses that one. It's going to be a rebound by Jerome Palm. Gets it to Edwards quickly. Now to King. King dribbles in between his legs. Kicks out in the corner for Preston Riedinger. Misses that one. And it's going to be rebounded by Charlie Yoder. 2:25 remaining in this first half. His ball's handed off to Miller. Now to Krause. Krause trying to look inside. Can't find anything. Kicks out for Swaby. Far side. Three-pointers. No good. It's going to be last away. Knocked out of bounds by Krause.
Valpo kind of doing a favor for Incarnate Word right now. Shooting from three. They're such a good team on the interior, but already taking 15 threes and only 3 for 15 on the game. They only shot 11 in their last game against Chicago State.
I mean, that's tough, and that's probably one of the reasons why Valpo didn't look very good in the game against Chicago State. Edwards drove in there. He's going to be fouled on the floor before the shot attempt.
Yeah, right.
Trey Miller.
Right on cue, going into the hoop, getting fouled, going to get 2 free throws up. 2 opportunities to get 2 free points.
And Incarnate Word with 8 fouls currently, so Edwards is going to go to the line for a 1-on-1.
Yeah, looks like they're going to call it on the floor. I thought they got out on the shot.
Edwards puts up the first, makes that one down.
Morgan back into the Cardinals.
As Nick Edwards, out of Atlanta, Georgia, went to Glenville State before coming here to Valpo, majoring in sports management, looking to get his graduate degree here at Valpo. And kudos to him for doing so as he makes them both. Gives Valpo a 2-point lead here, 28-26, Beacon lead. Krause near side, 3-point perimeter. Now gets it to Dennis. Now back hand off to Krause. Kicks it to Yoder near side. He's guarded by King. Drives in, can't find anything inside of the paint. He's in the inner circle. Kicks it out for Morgan. This one's for 3, no good. And man, what a rebound by Palm. Edwards quickly coming down the floor. Kicks far side across the court for King. King drives in, puts up a shot on the layup. It's going to be called for a charge. King unhappy with that. That'll be a second foul, an offensive foul for Kobe King.
Yeah, a little bit soft in my opinion on that one. Looks like King kind of got around and his leg just barely nicked the defender and he goes down. But when you fall and you're planted, most of the time they're going to call that.
I mean, it's a good way for him to get down. I mean, you mentioned not a hard hit, but the charge being called anyway. 28-26, minute 10 remaining here in this first half.
That's King's second foul as well.
Krause now goes to Dennis, hand off to Miller. Miller dribbles in between the legs, drives in off the glass, misses that one, and a rebound by Green. Green putting it to Edwards quickly. Kicks it out for Riedinger. Riedinger drives in, double team in the interior, tries to kick it out, gets it to Jerome Palm. Now to Green. This one's for 3, and he airballs it.
Valpo's got to take it to the cup. I mean, you have Ben Cricky who has incredible footwork. You get him down there one-on-one. Just put him in the spin cycle, and he's laying that one up and in.
Right, and we mentioned in the Valpo Keys, rely on your three a little bit more, but they've really relied on the three a little bit too much here to start things off.
Both teams combined 1 for 13 in their last 13 shots.
Haven't seen too much scoring in this first half as Dennis at the Valley logo throws it up into the paint. It's going to be rebounded by Palm, but a foul called after that. It was a little bit of action after the rebound by Devontae Dennis and Jerome Palm, and Dennis is going to be called with the foul as Palm will go to the line for the 1-on-1.
Valpo's slow first half, but we've seen a lot of Valpo's best action coming in the second half, and a lot of slow starts for Valpo. Chicago State really killed them because they were down by 25 at half. Same thing at Toledo. They were down by 26 at halftime. And when they dominated in the second half, it was just too late. And Western Michigan, Valpo up by 1 at half, won by 17. And right now they're up by 2. Jerome Palm is shooting some free throws right now, 1-1.
And the thing you mentioned, Valpo with these slow starts as Palm misses that one, is at least they played a good defensive game so far in this one to get them with that 2-point lead. We'll see if they're able to hold it here, as it looks like Incarnate Ward's going to be taking the last shot of this first half as Krause comes down the floor. Krause kicks it to Sissy. 3 on the game clock. Sissy throws up a 3, rolls out. Rebound by Riedinger, and time is going to expire for this first half. Valpo able to hold the lead and really defend pretty well to end this first half. Valpo 28, Incarnate Word 26. We will be... Wow, there's actually be a flop foul called against Incarnate Word, as the PA announcer just addressed.
Valpo will shoot 1 technical free throw.
And instead of going to a break, Valpo's going to go to the line.
I didn't see a flop anywhere, but that's the rules. Did they get rid of the flop warning rule?
They got rid of the flop warning and made it a foul.
Okay. Because I know last year you got a warning before there was the technical that was rewarded.
And Valpo's Quentin Green makes that one down, put it at a 29-26 lead for Valpo. So a 3-point lead instead of 2. Got to take whatever you can get. So we're going to take a quick break here and break down some of this first half at halftime. We'll be right back. You're listening to the home of Valpo basketball from Van Wagner. This is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Reynolds and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strive to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. Come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse location, or check us out at heinold-feller.com. We look forward to many more years of providing you excellent service, because at our Heinold & Feller, your family matters to ours.
It begins here. The State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Championship hits the hardwood at Enterprise Center March 2nd through 5th in St. Louis. Don't miss any of the action as 12 Missouri Valley teams battle for an automatic NCAA berth. Arch Madness, presented by Valley Sports Indiana and Great Southern Bank. For tickets, call 219-464-5233. That's 219-464-5233 or visit archmadness.com.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
Do you hear? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry?
Howie's! You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network. The Arch Madness app, presented by Great Southern Bank, is the official app of the 2023 State Farm MVC Men's Basketball Tournament. The app has all the information you need to plan your trip to St. Louis, including the tournament schedule, tickets, and special events during Arch Madness. Download the Arch Madness app on your Android or iOS device tonight. Struggling a little bit to say iOS here, as well as the word quickly tonight. I don't know why I'm doing both of them, but we're here at our halftime show, brought to you by IBEW, the Powering America team of Northwest Indiana. Let's take a look at some of the stats so far in this competition of Valpo's three-point lead here at halftime. Currently, the Beacons are shooting 34.5%. They're shooting 35% from three. They're 5 of 14. And overall, this is Incarnate Word, shooting 34-35, and they 101 from the charity stripe, leading the Cardinals in scoring, actually tying for both with 6 each, is number 10, Jonathan Cease, as well as number 24, Benjamin Grisky. Following right behind is number 12, Nikki Krause. He's got 5 points in this game tonight. Number 3, Devontae Dennis with 4. Then we've got number 5, Brandon Swaby with 3. And with 2 points is number 25, Trey Miller. Playing in this contest so far, but not scoring. A surprising one, Charlie Yoder. He had 24 points in the last game. So far, he's got nothing on the floor with 0 points. He's only taken 2 shots and missed both of them. Number 23, Stephen Payne, the third, with 0 as well as number 13, Josh Morgan, with 0 points so far in this first half. Looking at Valpo's side of the floor, they're shooting 34.6%. They're 3 of 16 from 3, and 2 of those 3 coming from none other than Ben Crookey, who hadn't made a 3 so far until coming into this contest tonight, and 8 of 9 from the charity stripe. Does anything really broaden out to you, Noah, especially to me, at least in the three-point shooting percentage?
Yeah, I mean, Valpo's got to hit those shots. A lot of these are open threes that they're hitting in warm-up, so they're not hitting the game right now. It's just one of those, it's kind of like they're almost too open, but almost every single play you see chances where Valpo could drive to the hoop. There's multiple times where I saw Kobe King get the ball, and there was a guy shading, giving him the right lane pretty much, and he just kind of stands there in the triple threat. It's like you gotta go get to the hoop, because Kobe can finish strong pretty much every single play, and the guards have to get to the hoop too, which gets the help defense onto them, and they can give it to Ben, who is pretty much guaranteed from within 5 feet.
And so far, we've seen Ben Crickey be the dominant force on the court tonight with 10 points, leading scoring for the Beacons. Right behind him is number 14, Quentin Green, with 8 points. He's shooting 2 of 8 so far in tonight's competition. Kobe King, number 35, with 7 points. He's 3 of 7, 0 of 2 from 3. Haven't seen a three-pointer for Kobe King, but really saw one heck of a slam dunk from Kobe King early in the first half. Number 5, Nick Edwards, he's got 2 points. And Darius Diavero with 2 points as well. 4 players played but did not score so far in this first half. Jerome Palm, Maximus Nelson, Connor Barrett, and Preston Reedinger. They'll have some pretty good looks, but did not score. Jerome Palm actually not taking anything so far. He's just been at the charity stripe for 1 and missed that one to finish with 0. Looking at some of the points for both these teams, points from turnovers, Valpo's got 6, and UNW with 0. Points in the paint, Valpo with 10, Incarnate Word with 8. Second chance points, Beacons with 2, and the Cardinals with none. Fast breaks, Valpo with 4, Cardinals with none. But here's the difference, Noah. We've seen Incarnate Word with 10 bench points, Valpo with only 2 so far. Really, what is the difference here between both of these teams so far? I mean, we're at a pretty even score, 29-26, and really it's just been a defensive game throughout.
Yeah, I mean, Valpo is helping out Incarnate Word's defense by taking all these threes. They're not hitting them. Obviously, some of these are obvious looks, but some of them, like Quentin Green, some of the shots he's been taking have come off very forced, and where they could be looking to get to the hoop and maybe get a little dish off and a handoff under the hoop to get some easy points. But I mean, Incarnate Word has been playing solid defense. So Valpo just needs to figure out how to solve that defense.
I mean, there's a couple things that we've seen so far, especially from Ben Cricky. He's been heavily defended down low, and most of his points have been highly contested baskets that he's able to make on through. I mean, what do you see the difference coming in here to the second half? Do you think Valpo is going to be able to screen up top, or are you seeing a kind of different offensive momentum for this Beacons team?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, Valpo likes to push the pace, and they've really slowed it down today. So maybe try to push this pace again, because Valpo is the more athletic team on this court right now, and if they have the opportunity, just get down court before Incarnate Word can set up their defense, because it seems like they're playing Incarnate Word's game right now.
I mean, we're kind of seeing them kind of play down to their level at a few chances. We're seeing them take some poor shot selections. And, I mean, really, Valpo's not playing up to their game right now. They're not playing Chicago State level down to their game, but at the same time, they're not playing to the level that they could be. It's early in the season. Not too many games have been played so far. This is only the 4th game of the season for the Beacons, so you got to give them some credit. They're playing one heck of a game so far.
Yeah, I mean, you have these games so you can tune up and figure out all these small problems that you may have to figure that out once it comes to conference play, because once Valpo's going to be playing conference play, they're playing Belmont first, who's a solid team, and they're also going to be playing Murray State, so you got to be ready for it.
We're going to see if they're ready for it here, as we're going to take another pause for a timeout, and we'll be right back here to lead to the second half. Valpo 29, UIW 26 here at halftime. We'll be right back here from Van Wagner. This is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
Hey, you! Don't do it! Don't take that job when you can have a career.
I'd love a career, but where?
At First Source Bank, we offer a variety of fulfilling career opportunities, schedule flexibility, good pay and benefits, educational opportunities for personal growth, and a chance to work with amazing people just like yourself. Join us.
Learn more at firstsource.com/careers. That's the number one, stsource.com. An equal opportunity employer. Male, female, disabled, veteran.
There are sports bars everywhere these days, but there's only one place for award-winning jumbo wings, bigger beers, and better food and drink values all week long. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. We're so much more than wings. Enjoy wraps, salads, subs, seafoods, quesadillas, amazing appetizers, and awesome daily lunch food and drink specials. And now, when you can't eat here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso, and online at wingsetc.com.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day. Oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
The Missouri Valley Conference is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the passage of Title IX legislation. Throughout the academic year, the Valley is honoring pioneers from league institutions who paved the way for current and future student athletes. To learn more about the conference's Title IX recognition plans, visit nbc-sports.com/Title 950. We're back here on our IBEW halftime show. I'm Zach Collins, sitting alongside Noah Godsell. And Noah, there's one thing we got to look at, and that's Carson Cunningham. He's actually kind of making a return to the Hoosier State. He's very familiar with Indiana athletics. He played with the Purdue Boilermakers in college for 3 seasons, He then appeared in 2 Sweet 16 appearances, as well as had an appearance in the Elite 8 with Purdue. He then got his master's degree from Purdue in 2001, then earned his graduate PhD in history in 2006, to which he went and taught in DePaul in Chicago. Before he did that, however, he coached at Andran, which is, about 40 minutes off the road, not too far from here, in 2007 and 2008 in Maryville, his alma mater, where he won 43 of 50 games, only losing 7 games. That's pretty good when you look at Coach Cunningham. A very interesting and insightful look at him. He's got the smarts in the classroom as an athlete. So, we're seeing his team struggle in the last few seasons, right? We're seeing them, they're playing pretty well against this Beacon squad here tonight. They're only down by 3. What do the Cardinals have to do differently on his side of things to be able to compete within the rest of this competition?
Man, I'm not really sure. They just got to keep doing what they're doing and just keep forcing Valpo to shoot their threes because they're not hitting them today. That's kind of a pre-defensive strategy for them. Just clog the lane, let them shoot the threes until they prove they can hit them.
You're not wrong because overall they've played a pretty good defense on the interior. They haven't allowed too many points out of Cricky down low. 10, for him, that's pretty average looking at Ben Cricky overall. It's actually a little bit below his average overall. But we're seeing that this Incarnate Word team, they're playing good defense, they're playing strong, they're playing smart so far, and they're not taking up, too bad of shots. We've seen Cease take up a few of them, and we've seen Krause take up a few more. But really, you're going to have some players take a few shots that, you look back at, and if you're a player, you're like, all right, you know what? Maybe I should have taken that, but I took it anyway on the floor. But, just looking at it overall, it's interesting to see how this game has been broken down so far in terms of its defensive ability on both of these sides of the floor. And, we haven't seen too many players on Valpo's bench score so far, and actually not too many. We've seen none score so far.
Yeah, we have 2 bench points for Valpo so far. Only Nick Edwards, who is a borderline starter on his own. So, Valpo just got to share the rock, take it to the hoop, and see what they can do from there.
And actually looking into this is the first game that either one of these teams have played against one another. It's the first meeting between either one of them. When you look at series notes, we like to look into the history of, Valpo athletics. Since around 1917, this team has existed for men's basketball. And it's crazy to me, in over 100 years, these two teams have not matched up against one another. I get it. One's Texas, one's Indiana. Bit of a difference in terms of, range and mileage. And it's kind of an odd matchup when you look at it from an outside picture. But looking on the inside, it's interesting to see that these two have not matched up against one another. Two, smaller schools playing another in basketball. It's different. You don't see it too often.
Yeah, I know Incarnate Word, I believe they became a Division I program last year.
Right.
So, being from San Antonio, making a trip all the way up to Valpo is quite a ways. So, it doesn't surprise me that this is the first time that they're meeting. But Valpo hasn't always been a Division I school themselves, so surprised that they hadn't run into each other at least once.
And we're heading in here to the second half. Valpo right to left. Incarnate Word from left to right. 29-26. Valpo up by 3. Cricky puts up a jumper, hits the front of the rim. Rebound by Palm. Kicks it out for Diavera on the far side. He drives it. Almost has an open lane. Gets it to King. Now for Green. This one's for 3. Near side. Wow, what a shot by Quentin Green for 3.
Valpo making that extra pass to get the wide open look. Diavera looked like he had a chance for a layup there, but decided to kick it out, and it worked out for Valpo.
Yoder hands it off for Miller. Miller now gets a Krause far side. Now goes top of the key for Galiski. Almost stolen away by Diavero, but he's going to be called for the reach-in foul.
Yeah, Galiski kind of lost control of it, and Diavero saw a chance to get the steal, dove in there, but got called for the reach-in.
Incarnate Word is going to take this ball out of bounds on the near side. They get it into Gariski. Trying to look for a player, gets it to Yoder. Yoder's trying to go around King here. Kicks it back out for Gariski. Now hands it off for Miller. Miller with 5 on the shot clock, gets it Gariski, and he slams that one down. We had Cricky turned around on the play trying to cover on the far side, and Gariski just took advantage of the open lane.
Great way to use all 30 seconds of that shot clock.
King, spin move, puts up a shot, gets fouled on the attempt. Grisky had a hand on it, but he also had another hand on Kobe King's hand.
Yeah, that's what our good friend Soren Burkholder is always saying. I want to see Kobe King shoot 1,000 free throws every game. Just take it to the hoop. He's going to get fouled. He's so aggressive and so great at drawing fouls. Just take it to the hoop and shoot those free throws.
I mean, he's a tough player underneath the basket. He's a tough player with the basketball. He's smart with it as he makes that first one there. And what I like most about Kobe King is, he's got that energy. He's got that motivation to get better. And at the same time, as he makes them both, I like how he plays on the floor. He's a little bit of a chatterbox in terms of talking to the officials, but I love him on the floor. One of my favorite players to watch overall as a guard. Incarnate Word now with the basketball. Bounce pass to Goriski. Now hands it off for Kraus. Kraus, top of the key, rolls to the right. Looks in for Goriski. Could have been called for a carry, but nothing called. Goriski now goes far side for Yoder. Yoder drives in off the glass, somehow falls through. His first points of tonight. He had 24 in the last competition, now with just 2 so far here with 18-10 left to go in this game.
And impressive first points as well.
Baum tried to get it into King, was knocked away, hit the leg of a player. Yoder picking that ball up. Now gets it to Kraus, now to Yoder, far side, signals in. Rolls to the left, guarded by Cricky. Tries to drive in, can't find anything open, and kicks it out for Swaby, who gets it now to Miller. Miller goes, open lane. Cricky tried going in and defending. He jumped up with him, and he's going to foul him on the shot attempt by Miller.
Looks like Cricky was straight up on that one. A little confused about the call there on that one.
I mean, I thought he went straight up with it, too. I thought it was just good defense. He pulled away from his defender, jumped up, but somehow must have gotten a hand or something in there on that last attempt.
They were going to give him free throws, but Matt Loddick had something to say about that. Refs decided to change the call.
We're seeing Carson Cunningham unhappy with that call, but nonetheless, they're going to take it out of bounds. Valpo with 2 fouls as an attempt here by Kraus. Try to put that one up. They're going to take this one out of bounds once again. He tried to go for the shot attempt, but by the time he even attempted it, he was already fouled.
Yeah, I mean, he was facing the other way. His back was to the hoop. If they called a shooting foul, he would have had to shoot that over his head to get a shot off.
I mean, it's possible, but man, is it not probable.
Or a high percentage shot.
You got that right. Swaby bounce passes to Yoder. Yoder drives, left side, tries to look in the interior. Fadeaway jumper, misses that one, and a rebound by Edwards. Edwards quickly coming down the floor. Now halting for a second, goes right, hands off to Green. Now to Cricky. King now with the basketball near side. Bounce pass inside to Cricky. He fakes, tries driving in, double teaming on the interior, kicks it out for Edwards. Now for Green. He puts up a 3, a high arcing 3. Rebound by Palm, but they're going to call a foul on him before he got the rebound.
Yeah, Jerome Palm with the push-off going up for the rebound there. Quentin Green, not a high percentage shot there. I know he's made his last one, but close contest on the 3.
34-30, 17 minutes remaining in this competition between Valpo and Incarnate Word. Kraus now dribbling the basketball. He's top of the key, guarded by Edwards. Bounce pass in the interior to Yoder. He drives in, left-hander off the glass. That falls through for Charlie Yoder to put him at 4 points tonight.
We know he likes to use the left hand, and he's using it right there.
Inside pass to Cricky. Kicks it back out to Edwards. Cricky rolled out. Edwards went in. Edwards puts up a shot on the floater. Rebound by Palm. Palm gets it out for Cricky. This one's for 3. Near side for Ben Cricky. Knocks that one down.
Ben Cricky had 4 3-pointers last year. He's got 3 today. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. That's great.
Ben Cricky has been very dominant on the inside, but today dominant on the outside.
Miller puts up a jumper, falls through with that one. And I mean, Ben Cricky, we're just, kind of flabbergasted. We're not used to seeing him take as many threes and make them in. So it's very interesting to see the senior Ben Cricky make those down as Paul try to go inside to Cricky, gets fouled in the interior.
Same thing we've seen all day. Get out inside to Cricky with good positioning and just the reach-in foul to stop him from scoring.
And that foul is going to be on Gristy. That is going to be his third foul and the team's second of the half. We're going to take a quick timeout here. We'll be right back. You're listening to the home of Valpo men's basketball here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
TicketSmarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than TicketSmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
It begins here. The State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Championship hits the hardwood at Enterprise Center March 2nd through 5th in St. Louis. Don't miss any of the action as 12 Missouri Valley teams battle for an automatic NCAA berth. Arch Madness, presented by Valley Sports Indiana and Great Southern Bank. For tickets, call 219-464-5233. That's 219-464-5233 or visit archmadness.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
No matter the job at hand, Gastonia Tractor has the John Deere equipment with the power to take it on. Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, Gastonia Tractor has the mowers, tractors, and implements you need. Find a location near you at castrac.com. We're back here in the Athletics Recreational Center for some Valparaiso men's basketball. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Noah Godsell. We're seeing a pretty quick start for really both of these teams. 37-34, your current score here with 15:48 left to go in this game. And you don't know, we're seeing good defensive presence for both of these teams. We're seeing some smart shots taken by Valpo. We just saw a couple fouls on Incarnate Word's side. They're trying to play tough defense, but down low they seem to be getting beaten out so far here early in this first half.
Yeah, Valpo has gotten some good looks inside, just kind of overpowering them and able to get some good looks. But Incarnate Word just reaching a hand in there, getting fouls. Only 2 so far in this second half. We're 4 minutes in, but Valpo just needs to keep pounding inside because that's their game. They can't play the Incarnate Word game. They have to play the Valpo game. Also, big shout out to the Castlemans. They said hi to me. I got a text. Just want to give them a shout out. Big fans.
Of course, you got to give shout outs here.
Of course.
Why wouldn't we? Cricky with the jumper misses that one. It's going to be rebounded by Miller. Miller near side, dribbles in between his legs, guarded by Quentin Green. Bounce pass goes to Swaby. Attempts to hand it off for a second. Continues to keep it himself. Now to Yoder. He's at the free throw line near side. Puts up a jumper from free throw line. Misses that one as Swaby gets the rebound. Dennis now goes to Miller. Miller drives in. Right hand floater. Falls through for Trey Miller.
Lazy defense there by Valpo, allowing multiple good looks and not allowing them to get the offensive rebound as well.
Edwards gets it to Palm. Palm top of the key. Fakes a handoff to Edwards. Tries to look. Finds a man of Cricky. Cricky now top of the key. Rolls to the right just a bit. Gets it to King on the far side. King with 8 on the shot clock. He rolls. He's now in the paint. At the Valley logo. Puts up a floater. Misses that one. There's going to be a foul on the floor.
Jan Yoder.
Oh, Noah, what did you see happen on that last play from Charlie Yoder? So I really didn't see the foul. I was more so paying attention to the basketball, but I really didn't see what Yoder did on the last play.
He got him on the arm on Paul when he was going up for the rebound there, avoiding the offensive rebound, which allowed Incarnate Word to get the defensive rebound.
You know, if I'm going up against Jerome Palm, even if I am as tall as 6'4", I might just let him have a couple rebounds, especially on that last one.
That's not very fair, Zach.
It's not, but I mean, even right now, he'd just get it anyway, regardless. I'm 5'8". He's a foot and 2 inches taller than me, so a little bit of a difference. We're back here to basketball. Brandon Swaby puts up a jump shot, misses, falls to the floor, gets fouled. It's going to be a blocking foul on Quentin Green. That'll be his first and the team's 5th.
Yeah, Quentin Green got into some foul trouble against Chicago State. Looks like they're going to give him shots on this. I'm not too sure about that, but Quentin Green, if he got those foot plays, that would have been an easy charge, but he was on the move when the shoulders dropped into him.
Makes the first as Swaby, the Fort Lauderdale, Florida native, comes into this game shooting 100%. Looking to see if he can continue this one here. And he airballs the second free throw.
Oh, Zach.
I guess a bit of announcer's jinx. I apologize for that one. Doesn't happen too often with me.
Well, yeah, this actually happened in the football game today. James and I were talking about how Drake had 0 yards, and then they got an 80-yard touchdown right after we said that.
Wow, that really is a big turn in terms of announcer's jinx. Riedinger putting up the floater, missing that one. Yoder quickly coming down the floor. He's going to look for Miller near side. Excuse me, far side of the floor. Transitions over, goes cross court, trying to look. He's at the right block, kicks it back out for Dennis, who bounce passes it on the far side. Going cross court once again for Yoder. He lost control. Swaby able to pick that one up and give it to Miller. Miller with 5 on the shot clock, drives in, off the glass, goes good. A couple of players falling down in that last play as he drove in. No fouls were called. 39-37. Incarnate Word with a 2-point lead.
Quentin Green trying to get the charge there as we're going to have a reach-in called in Trey Miller.
That'll be Trey Miller's second foul and the team's fourth. And we've seen Incarnate Word with a 7-0 run in the last 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Valpo has been unable to score in the last 2:46, and they're one of their last 7 for the Beacons. Looking to change that here. Kricky spins, gets it to Riedinger. Riedinger rolls to the right, can't find an open man, and it's going to be 3 seconds.
Lazy play there by Jerome Palm, staying in the lane, forgetting that the 3 seconds call is imminent.
A lot of players, I feel like, forget about it because they're so focused on running a play, and when you don't start the play in time, you're still so focused that you get called for the 3 seconds. That's exactly what happened there. As on the last one, Krause put up a shot. Official's going to call a foul on the floor. Looks like it's going to be a push foul on the floor.
That's going to be Valpo's 6th foul called on them, so next foul is going to be 1-1.
And Valpo was putting a few players in. Incarnate Word's going to take a 30-second timeout, which is going to transition to a full media timeout. So we're going to be right back here after we take a quick break. Valpo 37, Incarnate Word 39, 13-14 remaining in this game. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com, castrac.com.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many? This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day. Oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
The 2023 State Farm MVC Men's Basketball Tournament tips off at Enterprise Center March 2nd through the 5th. Get your all-session tickets to Arch Madness tonight and save $20 by calling 219-464-5233. Or make it even easier, order online at ValpoAthletics.com. Get your tickets and experience the madness.
I got to experience the madness last year. It was a good time. Fun times down in St. Louis. It's a nice stadium over there, and got to go check out the ballpark village. One of the days, there was actually a Checkers and Rallies truck. They were just giving out free chicken tenders and fries. Wow. It was great. They tasted amazing as well, and nothing's better than free food, Zach.
No, nothing's better than free food. We're hoping to get some free food here tonight, but
yeah, our vouchers never showed up.
Our vouchers never showed up, but you know, we gotta be thankful we're able to be able to call college basketball. So I guess,
of course,
we'll take that gift. No.
It's a week of thanks,
right? There's a lot going on in the game where people get a little distracted, including me, myself, and you probably a little bit too.
Just a little,
bit.
You know, I already called a football game today. I'm slowly zoning out, so.
I'll just have to keep you in. I'll just keep dumping Gatorade things over you. I'm just very nice. I like this suit jacket.
Thank you.
It's a good look. I mean,
my mom got it for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Just tell your mom to get me a suit jacket like that. That's a nice one.
I don't know if she'll do that.
Well, probably not. That'd be a little weird. All right, we're back in action. Charlie Yoder, far side. He's going to try to look for Swaby, but now goes to Kraus, top of the key. Kraus free throw line, kicks out for Swaby. Inside pass goes to Dennis as he checks back into the game. Bounce pass to Payne, the third, as he misses that one. Just hit backboard. Shot clock violation goes for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think that got blocked. I don't know by who, but someone blocked that ball and avoiding it from touching the rim, getting the shot clock violation.
There's about 3 players on that last play. I mean, really couldn't see the hand on there. Somehow not a foul call by Swaby as King got that ball. Gives it to Cricky as he came up top. Now gets it to Diavero, far side. Now it goes, rolls in the corner. Now comes towards the right side of the right block. Goes out of bounds. That's its last touch by Kraus.
Diavero just needs to take the ball to the hoop. He's so fast. He's got a lot more bounce than some may think, and just get up there and lay it in. We've seen it a couple times, but he seems to be scared to do it.
12 seconds on the shot clock. Diavero to inbound. He gets it to Cricky. Rolls quickly to this near side and gets it to King. King bounce pass inside, goes to Nelson. He puts up a jumper. That one falls through after it rolled out, popped out for just a second, and fell back into the net.
A sigh of relief. Valpo finally get one to fall after 4 minutes.
We're tied here at 39 all, and yes, we are in the second half with 12-12 remaining. Jumper coming from Dennis. It's missed. It's rebounded by Green of Valpo.
Green stealing Diavero's rebound there.
Green putting up a long-range 3, misses that one as it rolls out. Matt Loddick turning his head in a bit of frustration.
Me too.
And I believe a lot of the fans are as well, as Yoder gets that one to Dennis. Now an inside pass here for Incarnate Ward and Trey Miller knocking that one. Excuse me, it's going to be Stephen Payne the third knocking that one down.
Payne hitting his average of 2 points a game after that shot.
Diavero to Cricky, top of the key. Spins for just a second, gets it to Green on the inside, and what a play for Quentin Green.
That's the thing, Quentin Green can get to the hoop. He just hasn't been doing it all today.
Nicky Kraus rolls right side. He's triple teamed on the interior, kicks it back out for Swaby. Now for Kraus. Now back for Swaby near side, 3-point perimeter. Goes right back to Kraus. Hands it off, now back to Kraus again. Kraus driving in, puts it off the glass, and that one's just too easy for Nicky Kraus. All they did was set up a couple passes up top, and he just drove down. Whoa, but what a play for Quentin Green.
Man, Zach,
wow.
What a terrible play to what an amazing play. Quentin Green just blowing by everyone, throwing that one down with 2 hands.
He surprised me. I thought he was going to pass it out in the lane. He just drove all the way in. What a play for Quentin Green. Yoder putting up a shot.
Great defense by King.
And as you mentioned, King with good defense. Diavero bringing the ball down the floor. Green, 4-3. Doesn't fall through. Good box out coming from Devontae Dennis on Ben Cricky.
Way too early in the shot clock to be shooting a contested 3 like that from Quentin Green.
Ball handed off to Dennis. Bounces back to Kraus. Kraus signals to Dennis and hands it off to him once again. And Incarnate Word likes to continue kind of a high school-based offense up top where they continue to hand the ball off as they hand it off once again here to Kraus. Kraus, fadeaway jumper, puts his hands up even after the shot. And a foul's going to be called on the floor.
On who? Maximus Nelson.
On Maximus Nelson, that's his second.
And now they're going to be shooting free throws as well.
Team 7.
Foolish foul there by the freshman.
He's trying to be aggressive down low, but there's points where you can be too aggressive, and that was one of those points right there, for example. We're going to take a quick break here, an immediate timeout. We're tied here at 43 all in the second half with just 10 minutes and 1 second left to go in this game. We'll be right back here from Van Wagner. This is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
It begins here. The State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Championship hits the hardwood at Enterprise Center March 2nd through 5th in St. Louis. Don't miss any of the action as 12 Missouri Valley teams battle for an automatic NCAA berth. Arch Madness, presented by Valley Sports Indiana and Great Southern Bank. For tickets, call 219-464-5233. That's 219-464-5233 or visit archmadness.com.
There's no need to fear. The First Source Bank mobile app is here. As fast as a mobile deposit. Built to pay bills instantaneously. Powered to balance budgets. And with a simple tap, a call is placed for that personal touch. All this power is disguised as a mild-mannered app on your phone, ready to fight for your financial freedom.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Single session tickets for the 2023 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament are now on sale. Reserve your seat to Arch Madness in St. Louis by ordering online at Ticketmaster.com. Get your tickets and experience the madness. We're back here in the Athletics Recreational Center. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Noah Godsell. Last play was just a foul, and that landed on Maximus Nelson to put him at his second foul, as number 23, Stephen Payne, will go to the line to try to finish things out. Doesn't fall through. We're still tied here at 43, all just under 10 minutes remaining in this game. King rolls out to the right, gets it. Down low to Cricky. He drives in. Just doesn't fall through. The Valpo bench all getting up in excitement and anticipation for that ball to fall through. But Cricky just wasn't able to knock it in for the three-point play. He'll go to the line for two.
Smart move by Cricky there to take it to the freshman. Less experienced Stephen Payne. Doesn't see a lot of minutes on the court. Just smart to take it at him. Drawing the foul there.
Cricky going to the line here as he makes the first. One thing a little off topic, but kind of on topic, we have to look at Incarnate Word. Some players, in terms of where they're from, they have 12 players from Texas.
Hey.
They really don't look out of state, do they?
Everything's bigger in Texas.
That's true. And Cricky, being bigger than ever, makes them both.
And San Antonio Baird's so deep south in Texas, too. Hard to really recruit anywhere else.
Christie. Now, dribble by Dennis here, far side. Left block, puts up a shot, blocked away, but the foul called after.
I wonder who they're going to call it on, King or Cricky, because Cricky kind of swung at it, but King might have got him on the arm.
To be King's third foul of this game with 9:33 left to go. Team's eighth. And Devontae Dennis going to the line. This one, I believe, was called on the shot, so we'll go to the line for two. Makes the first. Dennis coming into this game shooting 50% from the charity stripe. The Baltimore, Maryland native out of Red Lion Area Senior High School. That's a bit of a mouthful if you're a PA announcer.
Yeah, just a little.
And he makes them both. Puts us at 45 all. And Diavera will take the ball down the line as he crosses the timeline here. Kicks it to Quentin Green. Green far side gets it to Cricky. Cricky rolls now to Diavero. Diavero rolls right side, right block, pulls back, bounce pass to Cricky, jump away, fader, misses that one. Somehow keeping it balanced is Devontae Dennis on that good rebound by him. Miller now with the basketball, hands off to Dennis. This one's for three. Brooks off, misses. Rebound by Nelson.
Cricky missing some shots that he's usually hitting, those mid-range pull-ups.
Nelson pump fake for a second. Realized he should have capped it. Bounce pass to Green. He loses control of the ball, and it goes out of bounds. He goes out of bounds quickly.
Yeah, Quentin Green had a drive to the hoop there. Probably would have been another dunk there if he held on to it.
I mean, it was a good attempt by him in terms of the position that he put himself in and that transition towards the basket, but it just wasn't enough for him as he wasn't able to get that one down. Nicky Krause now with the ball far side. Bounce pass goes to Dennis. Dennis tries to look. Bounce pass is a short one to Miller. He misses that. And a rebound coming from Nelson.
It looked like that shot almost slipped out of Miller's hands there.
Diavero hands it off to Nelson for three! And Maximus Nelson, the freshman, knocks that one down.
That's why they put Maximus Nelson in these games, to hit threes just like that. His first three of his career with the Beacons.
48-45, Beacons lead here with 8:10 remaining in the second half. Grisky hands it off to Krause. Good defense by Diavero, not reaching a hand in there, but losing control for a second was Krause. He regains control. Kicks out for Grisky. Near side three-pointer. Knocks that one down for Benjamin Grisky.
Grisky, 11 points now, leading the team.
We're tied here at 48 all as Cricky comes down the floor quickly. Rolls out far side. Diavero gets a screen by Cricky. Now he's double-teamed on the far side. Loses control for just a second, but is able to pick it up and get it to Cricky. As he drives in, he's going to get fouled in the attempt, and he'll go to the line for two.
I want to see that more from Ben Cricky with Grisky on him. He is faster, so you can just blow right by him. That's the first time we've seen Cricky take the ball from the three-point line, driving into the hoop, drawing the foul there.
That's a good drawn foul from Ben Cricky. We'll see if he continues to do that throughout this second half. We're going to take a media timeout. We'll be right back here. You're listening to the home of Valpo basketball from Van Wagner. This is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
There are sports bars everywhere these days, but there's only one place for award-winning jumbo wings, bigger beers, and better food and drink values all week long. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. We're so much more than wings. Enjoy wraps, salads, subs, seafoods, quesadillas, amazing appetizers, and awesome daily lunch food and drink specials. And now, when you can't eat here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
TicketSmarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than TicketSmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Tonight's broadcast of Valpo men's basketball is brought to you by Calumet Brewing and Bud Light. It's for the fans. And the fans, pretty happy with so far of a performance. Really good defensive performance from both of these teams. We're tied here at 48 all. I'm Zach Collins sitting alongside Noah Godsell, bringing you live for some Valpo men's basketball here in Valparaiso, Indiana. Just under 7:30 remaining here in this game. And no, it's been kind of a slow-moving game, but at the same time, we're seeing some, good momentum from both sides, and then it dies off, and one team gains momentum again, and we're seeing kind of these trends of, 0-4, 0-5, and we're continuing to see some missed shots from both sides. What needs to change in this game for especially the Beacons to come back within this one and take a lead?
I mean, a lot of it is just avoiding to drive to the hoop. There's Diavero will take it to the hoop and decide to kick it out pretty much every single time. Ben Cricky has some good chances out on the wing that he could drive, and he decides to get rid of the ball as he misses the first free throw. But I think Valpo just needs to keep pushing the pace, fight to get to the hoop, draw some fouls, get some free throws.
That'll be his first missed free throw of this game as he makes that one down. I made sure to say it as the ball was going in the hoop.
And Valpo's second missed free throw of the day as well.
Miller bringing the ball down the floor for the Cardinals. Dribbling up top of the key. Trying to look for someone on the left side. Gets the screen up top. Goes, kicks it risky. Now back to Miller. Miller drives in. Kicks in for Dennis. Can't put that one through. King trying to get to that one. He's going to just tuck it in. It's going to be a jump ball called. What an aggressive move by Kobe King, just diving on the floor to get that basketball.
I love that hustle play by Kobe King. Great defense there by the Beacons, unable to get the rebound. Ball was loose, and Kobe able to dive and get it. Does call jump ball. It's going to stay with the current word, but if there's a jump ball later in the game, it's going to go to Valpo now.
I mean, that's the thing, too. You got to be happy if you're Matt Loddick looking on the sidelines like, all right, now we got the possession arrow going our way. We'll see what we can do with it leading into the future of this game. Kraus drives in, puts up the left-hand shot. He's going to be called for the charge as Quentin Green falls to the ground.
Kraus is grabbing at his ankle. He went down after the Quentin Green charge. That was a drop shoulder into Quentin Green. He was able to plant the feet and draw the foul there. Great call there by the refs.
He's got it tucked in. Doesn't seem to be in a massive amount of pain. We'll see as he gets up. He's actually got it held up here. Now he's putting some pressure on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's better than no pressure on it. So
right.
He's able to walk off on his own, but he is in pain.
That was tough, the way that he came down with it. So they're going to take a look at him. We'll keep you updated with him on the sidelines here as this game progresses. We're just under 7 minutes left to go. Diavero gets it to King. Spin move, slams it down. Kobe King. What a play for Kobe King.
Put him in the blender and threw it down on his head. What a move by Kobe King. I love spin moves. They need to be utilized a lot more. Ben Kricky's a great example of it, and Kobe King, a picture-perfect example of a good spin move leading to a picture-perfect two-handed dunk.
I mean, that's exactly the aggressiveness that we were talking about that we want to see out of King, and he demonstrates it perfectly right there. And Incarnate Word just calls a full timeout on their side of things, 51-48. And I mean, no, as much as you can, sit there kind of predict like, oh, Valpo needs to do this, they need to do that.
Yeah.
You don't really expect that on the floor.
No. I mean, just the explosiveness you see from Kobe King, just how strong and how high he can jump, just turns around one step, jumps way up and throws that one down. I mean, you don't see this many dunks in a game from Valpo usually. That's already 4 for the Beacons.
Wow. I mean, we've seen one from Green and 2 from King.
2 from Green.
2 from Green, excuse me. And one from Green was, completely unexpected. Right side. Kind of thought he was just going to drive through the lane, but gets that one down. But that was just a no-doubter from Kobe King. You just saw his drive into the hoop. You knew he was going to slam that one down, and he does on that. It gives him a pretty good lead.
There's nothing more satisfying for an athlete to be able to showcase all the work they put in off the court and just to show off in front of a big crowd of, I'd say, about 1,500 out here today.
I mean, for it being with no students and being a Saturday night, it's a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, the lower bowl's pretty much full.
Dennis goes right side, gets to Grisky. Now back to Dennis. Now goes to Miller. Guarded by Diavero. He tries to look for an inside position. Good screen up top by Dennis. Continues to drive as Miller puts up a shot. Misses that one. Cricky landing down that rebound. And, man, we saw Nelson just land on a player of Incarnate Word as Valpo tried to drive here, and that's Green. He's going to get fouled on the shot attempt. It'll go to the line for a pair.
Man, I thought Quentin Green was about to go up with one hand and throw that one down. You saw it in his eyes, but 2 guys go up on Quentin Green, drawing the foul. Valpo will take free throws only up by 3 with 6 minutes left.
That foul's going to be on number 3, Devontae Dennis. That'll be his 4th and the team's 8th as Green knocks down the first.
Krause's shoe is off. The dogs are out, and the trainer's checking out his ankle over there on the end of the bench.
At least we don't have to be over there to, get the 4D experience, is what some people like to call it.
Woof. Dogs are out, man.
Green attempts the second. It rolls out. Nelson trying to get that rebound, but he's going to be called for the foul.
I'm not so sure about that one.
Maximus Nelson, that's his 3rd.
That'll be his 3rd foul, but no, I thought he was just making an attempt for the ball. No one really, even the crowd didn't really think it was on Maximus Nelson either. But regardless, he just doesn't win the whistle.
Yeah, you just heard a vocal, "Ooh!" from the Valpo bench there when the whistle was blown and the ref pointed the direction in favor of Incarnate Word.
Josh Morgan shooting a 1-1 here. Misses that one.
Ball don't lie.
And as we like to say in volleyball a lot too, ball don't lie.
Yeah.
Diavero now with the ball at the Valpo shield. Transitions to the right to Cricky. Cricky pump fakes. Tries to find an open lane. Drives in, puts up a shot. Doesn't fall through. Looked for the end one opportunity. Just didn't get the ball through the hoop.
Sorry, I let my little I'm a fan mannerisms get on there. Great move by Ben. Driving to the hoop once again. Drawing another foul every single time that we've seen Ben do this. He's drawn a foul. Unable to make the shot, but he's been able to get free throws out of it. And Ben, a great free throw shooter.
Cricky makes the first. We'll see as he attempts the second here to put him at a higher lead, and he puts that one through for a 6-point Valpo lead. 5:47 left to go in this game, and Noah, you can't ask for anything better than the aggressiveness that we're seeing out of this Valpo team.
Yeah, for sure. Aggressiveness wins games, and Incarnate Word a little bit more passive of a team, and Valpo is playing that way, but really seem to have turned it around here.
Jonathan Cease tried dribbling inside. A couple of Valpo beacons falling down on the floor.
Yeah.
It was last touched by Valpo, and it goes out of bounds.
Quentin Green poked it away, went right into Maximus Nelson's hands. He tripped over his own feet, falls backwards, and the ball rolls out of bounds.
Hey, you know what? We all do it. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't look at him and go, man, I don't trip over my own feet. We all do.
Yeah, I'll be walking through the VUCA one day. I don't know what it is. Whenever I'm wearing my Crocs, walking through the VUCA, I always trip at least once. I don't fall over, but I trip.
It's because they're not in sport mode, Noah.
I always have my Crocs in sport mode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different story. We just got to look at you and your walking skills. Yoder underneath the basket. Kicks it out for 3, and that one falls through for Josh Morgan.
Right when Valpo looked like they were pulling away there, a 3 for Incarnate Word.
Kick out to Cricky. Now for Diavero. He tried driving in, lost control of the basketball. Yoder able to pick that one up. He's going down the floor. He loses control, and Diavero gets that one. Gets it down to Maximus Nelson as he throws it down.
He was looking forward to that one, so no one was around him. I thought he might lob it up to Kobe King, but playing it safe with a two-handed slam with a scream right after it.
Wow, you can't ask anything better out of the freshman in this game. That puts him at 7 points so far on the night. 4:44 remaining in this game. Miller rolls to the left, looks for the open man, and finds Cease. Time for the key. 7 on the shot clock. Cease spins once again. Step back jumper, misses that one. Rebound by Nelson.
Great move by Cease, just unable to convert.
King gets the basketball quickly as Valpo's transitioning. Puts up a jumper in the paint. Misses that one. Rebound by Cease.
King had Cricky wide open in the corner. No one near him.
Cease looks, finds Yoder for 3. Nails that one down.
A quick release from Yoder there. Great looking shot.
Yoder now with 7 points. A little bit shy of his last point total of 24 in the last game. Valpo defending him well so far. King, top of the key. Step back jumper at the free throw line. Makes that one.
That's Kobe King's bread and butter. A DeMar DeRozan-esque game. Not game, style. Great on the mid-range. Just the jab step, creating space, and a little step back from the left elbow. Swisho Drano. Kobe King guaranteed from that spot.
And we're going to take a step back here. So we're going to take a media timeout. We'll be right back. Valpo 58, Incarnate Word 54. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
There's There's no need to fear. The First Source Bank mobile app is here. As fast as a mobile deposit. Built to pay bills instantaneously. Powered to balance budgets. And with a simple tap, a call is placed for that personal touch. All this power is disguised as a mild-mannered app on your phone, ready to fight for your financial freedom.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry
Howie's! Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
We are back here live from the Athletics Recreational Center on the campus of Valparaiso University. I'm Zach Collins, sitting alongside Noah Godsell for some Valparaiso men's basketball as Valpo is leading over the Cardinals 58-54. And Noah, we're seeing quite a few good transitions from the Beacons, especially with some slam dunks involved.
Yeah, I mean, Valpo, in terms of, you think about, these fun plays happen. Valpo should be blowing out Incarnate right now, but it's a 4-point game. This is really reminding me of the Cedarville game right now, actually, where it really seemed like Valpo was about to put this away, and then Cedarville just hit another key shot, another big shot, and they're staying in it. Valpo, it seems like they should be up by like 15-20 right now, but it's a 4-point game. Can't get relaxed.
Incarnate Ward's just been able to hit those shots and get those second chance rebounds that Valpo has allowed to keep them within this one. As Miller tries driving in near side. Kicks it back out, top of the key for Cease. Cease signals, hands it off for Yoder. Yoder gets a screen, however he goes the opposite way. Jump stop, tries to look for a transition play. Puts a jumper over Cricky, somehow falls through Charlie Yoder. What a shot being contested.
Yeah, it looked like Ben Cricky even got a hand on that one, but falls for Yoder. King's gone nice, so he should drive here. There we go.
He drove for a second, then went back out. Now gets it to Cricky. Hands it off to King once again. He rolls top of the key. Goes near side for Cricky. He stops, kicks, goes to Maximus Nelson. Misses that one. Rebound by Green for a second. However, he falls to the floor, and the foul looks like it's going to be called on the Cardinals.
Yeah, Quentin Green's entire arm was grabbed there. There was no whistle at first. I was like, whoa, what's going on? Whistle's blowed. Foul called. Quentin Green's going to be shooting too.
Green goes to the line. This will be for the 6th time tonight. 4 of 5 so far for the number 14, Quentin Green, as he makes that first one. And, for the way he's been playing so far, he's taken some, jumpers that you're kind of questionable about early to start this game. But lately he's taken, smart shots as he makes that one down as well. And, I mean, that's what you really want to see out of him on the floor.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the three-point shot's not working for him today. So you got to start getting to the hoop. And he has been. And he's gotten some key points for the Beacons on inside the paint, not from the three-point line.
Right. I mean, that's pretty much where his success has been, and really his overall career success has been so far before he came here to Valpo. Yoder drives in, puts up a shot, misses the first, goes up again, blocked by King. And Diavera pulling down that rebound after the block.
Cricky had a mismatch there for a second, but Cedarville recovers. Not Cedarville. Incarnate Word.
Diavera with the jump shot there. We mentioned Cedarville earlier. That's why we're getting a little bit mixed up. Jonathan Sees kicks out for Yoder. He quickly tries driving into the paint, puts up a jumper. He's a one-on-one opportunity with Green, makes that one off the backboard. Valpo now only up by 2. They got to take a smart shot here to stay within this one as they're entering 2-minute territory in this game.
Yoder single-handedly keeping Incarnate World in this game.
Gets it to King, top of the key. He tried spinning, somehow gets it to Cricky without traveling. That's a good play and a good athletic play from Kobe King. Diavero now goes to Cricky. Cricky rolls right. Right-hander falls through for Ben Cricky. And that's the smart play that we're talking about right there.
Drive. I know, Ben, you don't have a car on campus because that's a long drive in Canada, but you got to drive to the hoop. And he's done it. And every single time he has so far, it's been successful.
I mean, that is just the play that you could ask for every single day of the week. And Ben Cricky just delivered it on a silver platter. I mean,
give that a Michelin star, man.
I'll give it 2 Michelin stars.
2?
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
I didn't even know if I could do that. All right. But one thing that we've seen, driving to the hoop is successful. Minute 43 left. Valpo's taking up a lot of jumpers. We're seeing Incarnate Word trying to drive into the paint. Valpo's leaving it open a lot of the time. What do you think Valpo needs to change to the defensive side? Because right now, they're really winning on Incarnate Word, just missing their shots.
Yeah, I mean, Yoder's been the real problem for Incarnate Word, well, for Valpo, and playing in terms of Incarnate Word.
Right.
Only 11 points so far for him, but he has hit some crazy good shots. Valpo playing solid interior defense, but Yoder just able to, I don't know, he's a part of the Jelly fam or something, but he's really hitting some crazy good shots, and he has a key 3 for them as well, but Valpo just needs to not let them get open threes, but you have to sink back a little bit because their three-point shooting isn't that incredible.
I mean, really, it's not that incredible. We're looking at Incarnate Word. They are shooting 42% from 3, 8 of 19. Not too bad when you look at the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And then Valpo shooting 6 of 23, 26%. So, if I'm the Beacons, I'm going to continue to rely on points in the paint. And if I'm Incarnate Word, maybe take a couple threes, see what you can do with it as you're down by 4 with just a minute 30 remaining here in this game. Morgan looks inside, finds Yoder. Yoder pump fakes, tries driving. Step back, pulls up a pass over there, and somehow Green with the steal away.
Almost fell out of bounds there as well. Great toe tap, making a football move to stay in bounds.
You got to love the football move, able to stay in bounds. And Diavero dribbling at the Valpo shield here in mid-court. 15 on the shot clock, bounces to King. King finds an open lane for a second, drives in, takes it, doesn't fall through. And Garisti getting the rebound. Just 1 minute remaining here in this game. 62-58, Valpo up by 4.
Great look for King, just in and out, unable to get it to fall.
Cease gets it to Miller. Miller looks at the free throw line, puts up a jumper, doesn't fall through. Rebound by Diavero. He's going to slowly transition up the floor. No fouls left to give for Incarnate Word, as overall they have 10 team fouls here. Valpo with 9. 33 on the game clock. Diavero.
Mismatch.
Cricky puts it up. And Cricky with the mismatch. Gets that one to fall through. 25 on the game clock remaining. Pull up. Three-pointer by Garisti.
Ben Cricky in his face.
Wow.
Able to knock that one down.
What an answer back to make it a 3-point game of Benjamin Garisti. He's now 3 of 4 from 3, Noah.
Yeah, right when you think it's over, someone's hitting an insane shot. That was not a high percentage shot at all. Ben Cricky in his face. Just, you got to get that shot up quick because time's running out. You're down by 6. Puts up a almost desperation shot with Ben Cricky right in his face. Somehow gets it to fall.
I mean, it's almost like an impressive three-pointer. I mean, hand to the face, barely able to put that one up there. I mean, just falls through perfectly, just watches it as it drains in. And, I mean, coming into this game, he was shooting 25% from 3.
Yeah.
Now he's 3 of 4.
I don't understand. I mean, we saw this against Chicago State. There's guys shooting 2 for 12 from 3, and they're 5 for 5 on the day. So, it's just, you're hot when you're hot.
Right.
It always seems to happen against Valpo.
I mean, as analytical as you can be in terms of stats and looking at the data, you really can't predict the basketball game.
No, you really can't. And Valpo, interesting setup there, kind of T setup. Diavero can run the baseline, though.
Incarnate Word putting up a press here. They got a 3-man press coming up. Diavero gets it down to Reedinger, not a king, and he's going to slam it down. Coming game.
Chef's kiss. Mwah! Beautiful press break for the Beacons.
Man, you can't ask for any better press break than that. You can definitely tell the Beacons are watching film. Abram puts up a 3.
Gosh.
Oh, my goodness. And what a fadeaway 3 for him. What a shot. 5-point game. Wow.
2-point game.
Excuse me, 2-point game. They didn't put up the points at the time. And those are his first points of the game, his first shot of the game.
Yeah, so this reminds me of a shot by Showalter for the Wisconsin Badgers. They're taking on the Florida Gators in the Sweet 16. Hit a shot just like that. Fading away, 1 foot, whipping it up. Just desperation, and it goes in. And we just saw it here today. It's crazy. I mean, Valpo should be up by 10 right now, but some crazy shots have gone in for Incarnate Word.
Green goes to the line. He's got 2 shots, makes the first one to now put it at a 3-point game. And it looks like Matt Loddick is going to take a timeout.
30-second team timeout.
It's going to be a 30-second timeout for the Beacons. Yeah. I mean, and looking at this too, Noah, Reggie Abram coming into this game had not played at all so far in this competition.
No.
The Maryville, Indiana native actually went to Hammond High, pretty much in the same exact location that head coach Carson Cunningham grew up in and went to high school, just at Andrean, not too far away. And, I mean, what a relation just there in itself. And what a shot from him. He's only taken 2 3-point shots and made 1 so far coming into this game. And he might have made a game-safer one there, depending on what we could see Quentin Green do at the line.
Well, Zach, in Maryville, there is a candy factory called Albanese, and that shot was sweet like candy.
We make a lot of relations here on broadcast, and that is definitely a new one.
Hey, man.
I like it, though.
I got all of them.
You big sour gummy bear or
sour?
Sour Good.
All day.
I'm glad we agree. And that one's sweet as Quentin Green makes that one down. Not too sour for him. 3-point attempt from Dennis. That's no good. Breaks off, and Valpo takes a win.
Play the fight song. Ring the bell. Valpo wins.
68-64. Valpo takes the victory here at home. 2-game winning streak at home for the Beacons. And after that last game against Chicago State, that's a victory that Valpo needs.
Yeah, that's got to feel good. A lot closer than it probably felt for Valpo. I mean, Incarnate Word hit some crazy good shots, 45% from 3, 42% from the field today. 10 3-pointers made by Incarnate Word. That's not going to happen too often, but we also said that against Chicago State, but just shots fell for Incarnate Word today. Great team game by Valpo. Ben Cricky looking great per usual. Even though he's getting double-teamed the entire game, he still scored 22.
It's crazy. I mean, it's something that you don't expect. And, he had a pretty good first half, pretty good second half, still gets 22 points, just 2 under his average. But for how he started playing in that first half and how heavily defended he was in that first half, it's just an impressive way to be able to continue in that game as Valpo, as they always do, meets in the middle of the court for their little victory circle as they have hands on every shoulder and even some Incarnate Word players joining in. I mean, that's a rarity.
That's happened a couple times so far this year.
Right.
It didn't happen against Western Michigan. Instead, it was the student section that joined in the huddle. Happened against Cedarville, I know that. Well, that's the only home games we've had this year. So we're at a 67% chance of a team joining the post-game prayer.
I love the post-game prayer. I mean, to just see that happen is just a beautiful thing. I mean, God is always good. God will give you every victory. And, right there, that just shows that God is good on either side of the floor. And a loss or a win, He's always going to be there for you. So, to me, that's amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love when teams join in on that. It's always good, just win or loss, just always get together and remember how thankful that everyone is to be able to play basketball for fun and get paid to go to college to play basketball and just have fun with it and be thankful. Good or bad the result, just always be happy for where you are.
I mean, we're always blessed with our gifts, and I mean, especially the gifts tonight that we saw. Ben Cricky was just phenomenal. He had 22 points with 6 of 13, 3 of 5 overall from 3, and 7 and 8 from the charity stripe. You can't ask anything better from the senior Ben Cricky in tonight's game. And really, he just continued down the paint to just dominate on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ignore what Ben Cricky is capable of. Just some of the ways he creates shots. Him hitting 3 threes today, absolutely huge. I'm sure that's such a weight lifted off of his shoulders just to finally be able to see that 3-point shot fall in. He can stop stressing about it. I know I would give him a hard time all the time. Haha, you shot 14% from 3 last year. But just being able to see those fall, I'm sure that makes him very, very happy. And the fact that he was able to put up 22 today was almost sneaky, in my opinion. You didn't really realize. And I think what really turned it around for Cricky today and kind of turned it around for this team when he started driving to the hoop. He realized, I'm more athletic than you. I'm more talented than you. I'm the best player on this court. I'm going to take it to the hoop. Got fouled or hit some incredible shots with the right or left hand. Right hand's his offhand, actually. So he's such a treat to watch. I always love seeing Ben Cricky take the court. And 7 for 8 from the free throw line. Just being able to hit those free throws as a guy who draws a lot of fouls. He drew 7 fouls today. So just being able to hit free throws, absolutely huge. Unlike my good pal Giannis Antetokounmpo, 4 for 14, not going to fly.
But, I mean, Ben Cricky flying here today, and, just to look at this on our Lecture Bone and Joint Institute post-game show, just looking at one other player in this game who, struggled a little bit in the first half. He was 2 of 8 in the first half, continued throughout this game, shot 5 of 14 overall, not perfect, but had 20 points, and that is number 14, Quentin Green.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you got to look at it in terms of his second half performance compared to his first half. It's just it's an opposite game. Really, the first half was, I'm going to take as many threes as I can and see if I can knock one down.
Yeah.
The second half is, I'm going to use my strength and my conditioning and continue to drive to the basket, get drawn for fouls, go to the line, and that's exactly what he did here tonight.
Yeah, Quentin Green was awesome. He's an incredible pickup, I think, so far. I mean, obviously he's had a little bit of shooting woes early on. His first game shot, I think he was 5 or 6 from 3.
Right.
But it's slowed down a little bit since then. But on the season coming into today, let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his number right now. There we go, 14. He was shooting 50% from 3, so that average is going to go down quite a bit as he's going to be now at 10 for 26. So, but still, being able to score 20 points in a game, averaging 12 points a game coming into this one, he's been doing great. I know you hate to compare him to Kevion Taylor, but that's the type of role that they brought him in to fill in and shoot some threes. But the thing that Quentin Green has that Kevion Taylor didn't was the ability to take it to the hoop. And he can jump so high. Like, if he has one-on-one with a guy who doesn't have the same type of bounce that he does, he can just kind of lay it up, get a little finger roll in, or dunk it on someone.
Right, and I mean, his athleticism, and I mean, he's standing at 6'7". I mean, and especially for him as a guard on the floor, he's a very good player. Transitions well, he's fast on the floor, he's got a very good vertical. I mean, definitely a great pickup by this Beacons team. And looking at him overall in this game, he continued to play a good defensive game as well. I mean, we don't give enough players in this Valpo team enough credit for the defense they play because, I mean, Green plays really good defense. Jerome Palm didn't play much in the second half.
Yeah, foul trouble.
Right, but he offered a lot of good rebounds early in the first half, played a good defensive game. Then you even have to look at, they brought in Preston Reedinger probably to try to get some three-point attempts, but he played some pretty good defense, especially when we saw a couple players like Nick Edwards get a little bit tired on the floor. We saw Maximus Nelson get a little, fatigued on the floor as well. So bringing Reedinger into the game really helped as well to bring, just a little bit of different momentum on the floor for the Beacons.
I want to put a spotlight on Jerome Palm because statistically people don't really notice him. And 8 rebounds today, 3 offensive rebounds and 5 defensive rebounds. Just having that guy out there, having that reliable source, that hustle player that's going to go after those rebounds is absolutely huge. Obviously, he has been struggling a little bit with some foul troubles, but he's been corralling in those rebounds consistently, and I love to see what he's doing out there, just doing those hustle plays that no one else really wants, but I noticed them, Zach.
You notice them, I notice them, and I would hopefully believe that Coach Matt Loddick would notice them as well.
Well, he keeps starting them, so
he keeps starting them, he keeps playing them, and he keeps relying on them in really tight game situations. So definitely a good player there. We're going to take a quick pause here of our post-game show. We'll be right back with you here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com, castrac.com.
It begins here. The State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Championship hits the hardwood at Enterprise Center March 2nd through 5th in St. Louis. Don't miss any of the action as 12 Missouri Valley teams battle for an automatic NCAA berth. Arch Madness, presented by Valley Sports Indiana and Great Southern Bank. For tickets, call 219-464-5233. That's 219-464-5233 or visit archmadness.com.
You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we are back here on our LBJI post-game show. I'm Zach Collins alongside Noah Godsell. And Noah, let's just look into some of the stats here in this game tonight. We're going to start with Incarnate Word. In the game overall, they shot 42%, went 25 of 59, shot 45% from 3, 10 of 22. So you look at those stats, pretty good. Look at Valpo's side, they shot 40% from the field, 26% from 3, went 6 of 23, 21 of 52 overall. And here's where most of their points came from. 20 points from the charity stripe, 20 of 23, shooting 87% on the night.
I'll take that.
I'll take that
too. Any day.
And we're joined up here by associate head coach of the Beacons, Luke Gore. And, with a big win here tonight, you have 2 wins straight, Coach. Coming into this game, you had a loss against Chicago State. How much does this win mean for your team coming into the next game?
Obviously wins are important and fun. We want to get as many as we can. But, we made some progress defensively. I thought from last game we learned some stuff. We got better. And so the progress of it continuing to get better at different things. And then Incarnate Word did a really, really good job defensively of making how they guard is just different. So we couldn't get some of the things we normally get. So good job on their part.
And one thing looking at, too, they guarded pretty well. They guarded Cricky pretty well down low, but he was still able to post 22 points down low. Posted pretty good numbers in the first half. What do you think about his performance here tonight?
Well, the benefit of Ben and how hard he works on his game and how much he's improved in his time in college is it was hard for him down low, but then he hit 3 threes tonight, got to the line. That's something he's always been able to do a little bit, but his confidence, his work ethic, everything that he does, him as a human, has allowed him to be able to have a slow scoring game with 22. It's kind of nuts saying that, but I think that's what we all expect of him. And
right.
then, we found Quentin in a lot of situations. He was shooting 50% from three coming in the game. He got shots up, and he was 2 for 10. I think maybe there was 2 of them that he probably should have passed on. But we don't mind him taking them because he's a 40. He's going to be a 40-plus three-point shooter. So, normal night he hits 5 of those, and that makes a big difference. And and then it was good. Max did some really good things tonight. He was really physical. He made a couple shots. That's what he does. I mean, no one's really got to see that yet, but he can really score and really shoot it. So that was good for him to score some points, and so we did some good things. Obviously, I wish we'd have scored some more points and held them a little bit lower, but they did a great job. Coach Carson Cunningham is a great coach. Chris Artis is a great coach, and they did a really good job. And this means a little bit more to them than a lot of teams coming in because they just this is kind of home for them. So Charlie really stepped up down that stretch for him, Yoder. So. I wish he hadn't. I thought we guarded him pretty good, and he just made some shots, so good for him.
He stepped up a little bit, but also the defense of Darius D'Avera. He only had 2 points, but he played a pretty good defensive game, continued to control the ball pretty well on the floor. What are your thoughts about Darius D'Avera in this game?
Well, that's everybody has a weapon or a strength, and Darius has 3. It's defense, it's seeing the floor, and it's his IQ, and all those were on display tonight. I mean, he had 2 turnovers. That's the most he's had in a game. So if you think about that, he had 4 assists, 2 turnovers, and all of us are like, man, that's not a very good assist. It's 2-1. It's one of the best in the country, even if he does that. So well, fortunately, we have 3 guards that really pass the ball well, don't turn it over much, and Darius, Nick, and Preston. So, but he really started the game really well. He got a 5-second or steal right off the bat, set the tone. We haven't been able to stop teams in the first 4 or 5 minutes in games, and it was 3-2 at the first media. So I wish it had been 10-3, but it's improvement at that side of it.
Now, late in this game, we had Incarnate work kind of put up a press on you guys late in a situation. You're able to break the press easily. How were you able to break that press so easily in this game?
Well, we've been able to face a few presses. And Toledo prepared us. I mean, Toledo pressed us quite a bit. And so, we'd worked on it quite a bit, but you don't know what a press looks like unless you face a pressing team. And so now, we look like what are our strengths, what can guys do, who should take it out, who shouldn't take it out, and different things like that. And so I thought the best thing is they passed it, looked up the court, passed it, looked up, and a great play by Preston to catch it right in the middle, look up the court, and I think he found Kobe or Q for the dunk. Big time, just teammates being teammates. We have great guys that are great teammates, and really big. Thanks for pointing that out. It was a big play.
And looking at it in terms of the future, you're going to be taking on Samford on November 23rd. Coming into that game, looking at this game, what are you going to take from this game to take on Samford?
They press the whole game. So you brought it up. I mean, they press a lot. They play a lot of quick defenses. They're undefeated on the year. They're picked to win their league. They won 21 games. They got 4 starters back. I mean, they're a tremendously talented team, and they replaced the 1 starter that left from their place with a SEC transfer. So they're really good, and they have a great home court advantage. So it's going to be a good game. We're going to have to be able to break the press and attack and score against their press, and if we will be able to do that. And then if we make them have to play in a half-court game, we should be able to get some stops. So it'll be a tough game, and it'll be the first of 4 on a 10-11 game road trip that we'll be on the road the whole time. So it's kind of like an NBA team just hitting the rodeo trip or the circus trip, whatever it is.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. We really wish you forward in terms of winning this in your next week up here. And you've got a lot of games coming up on the road, so good luck for you, and hopefully you get a lot of sleep in some of those games as well. So
I hope so.
Congrats on your win today.
All right, thanks, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Have a good holiday.
Thank you. You as well. That is Associate Head Coach of the Beacons, Luke Gore. It was a pleasure to be able to talk to him on our LBGI post-game show. And, as he broke down, the press they were able to break. Sometimes you have a press, you're not able to break it.
Yeah.
Valpo was able to break it off that one. And, that was one of the key plays of the game. Overall, Valpo, they're only up by a small margin.
Yeah.
They're able to get it down and just end up in a slam dunk. you can't ask for anything better than that, especially on a 3-2 press.
Yeah, only up by 3, and we saw something like this actually against Cedarville. Valpo only up by 2, couldn't break the press, and Cedarville had a chance to tie it. So, only up by 3, went to the timeout, ran the play to perfection, led to a Kobe King dunk, his 3rd or 4th of the day. He had some absurd amount of dunks today. It was awesome to see. I always say, I want more dunks, I want to see more dunks, because I know what they could do. And just being able to see them get some good looks and some highlight plays, it was fun to watch.
A very, very fun contest to watch. Final score 68-64. Noah, do you have any final thoughts before we close things out here on our postgame show?
You know, it's easy to get down. You're playing Incarnate Word, and you're like, who's Incarnate Word? And you're only winning by 4. It's just you gotta remember what really matters is conference, especially in these mid-major schools. Playing these non-conference games are just good for experience to get into conference play, because in the Valley, pretty much the only way you're going to make the tournament is if you win it all,
right,
or you're like undefeated the entire season. So it's going to be a long journey, and it's going to be a learning experience here. Chicago State, learning experience. Toledo, learning experience. Today, a learning experience. The line was set at 16.5 for Valpo today, and they won by 4. And there's things that they can improve on, and the coaching staff knows it, the players know it. So it's just, we got to keep watching this team develop over time. It's still early. There's still a lot of work to do, and we can't get down this early. Yes, losing to Chicago State sucks, but Valpo bounced back, got to win today. You have the fourth highest leading scorer in the country on your team. When you have the 4th highest leading scorer in the country on your team, this is something good. Something good has to be happening. So, and it's not like he's shooting low percentage too. He's shooting in a high efficiency as well. So, this team has a lot of talent, and I think they could do something well as long as they stay healthy and keep working together. We saw it against Western Michigan. They looked awesome. Valpo looked awesome, and they barely even used the 3-pointers as well. So, a lot to build off of. It's going to be a tough week coming ahead. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose all 3, but they're going to fight and they're going to play hard, and all of them are winnable games. Valpo's not counted out on any of them.
I mean, Sanford, that's going to be a tough matchup coming for this Beacons team. But at the same time, so is the head coach Luke Gord just saying, we've got this. We're going to continue at it. And, I mean, that's the best way is, as a player, you want to hear that from your coach. We don't want to get to a game and be like, yeah, they're a tough team. We got to really struggle to keep up with them. He's like, no, we've got this. We've prepared for it. We've got young guys who are ready on the floor. They're built up. They're ready to take on Sanford. And, I mean, Sanford, a good team, as he mentioned, 4 of the 5 starters returning this season and an SEC transfer. You can't ask for anything better if you're Sanford. And for Valpo, you can't ask anything better for a good competition coming into that next game as well.
Yeah, they're also going to be taking on James Madison this upcoming week as well. They're at 4-0. Wins against Division II school. They're 3-0. So they have a win against Hampton, who's a weaker team. They beat Buffalo, who's a weaker team, and they beat Howard, who's a weaker team. So they're taking on North Carolina tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes with that. But James Madison could be a solid team as well. And then South Dakota State, undefeated in conference last season. I know they're coming off a loss to Arkansas, I believe. So it's going to be 3 tough games, but they are winnable games for Valpo still. South Dakota State at 2-3 this year. They have a loss to Akron by 1, beat Boise State by 2, sorry. Beat St. Bonaventure by 4, lost to Arkansas by a good amount, and then lost to SF Austin by 11. So not as good this season. Their next game is going to be up against Valpo on Friday. I believe it's in Savannah, Georgia. So interested to see how Valpo plays against some of these different teams that they're not going to see too often, and stronger teams as well.
We'll see how Valpo does on their road performance, as they've got a lot of games on the road and some during a tournament in Georgia. So we'd like to thank you for tuning in to another presentation of Valparaiso men's basketball. We hope that you tune in tomorrow as the women's volleyball team will begin MVC playoff play as it will take on Murray State. As myself, Zach Collins, will have that call for you at 6 p.m. with a pregame show starting at 5:30 p.m. We'd like to give a quick shout-out to our sponsors who made tonight's broadcast possible, including Calumet Brewing, Custonia Tractor, Wings, etc., Lakeshore Bone and Joint, Northwest Health, First Source Bank, Hungry Howie's, Culver's, IBEW, Royal Excursion, and Ticket Smarter. Tonight's presentation of Valparaiso men's basketball has been an exclusive presentation of Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment. The GM of Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment for Valparaiso Athletics is Blair Minton. This broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Valparaiso men's basketball here on WVUR The Source 95, and any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of WVUR is prohibited. The GM of WVUR is yours truly, Zach Collins. The sports director for WVUR is Noah Godsell, and the assistant sports director for WVUR is Ethan Decatur. Once again, your final score here from the Arc is Valparaiso 68, Incarnate Word 64. For Noah Godsell, I'm Zach Collins. Thank you for listening to another presentation of Valparaiso Beacons basketball here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Enjoy what is left of your Saturday evening, as we will see you back here tomorrow for some volleyball action, as we say so long from the Vale of Paradise. That was another presentation of Valparaiso Beacon Athletics on WVUR The Source 95, the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of WVUR The Source 95 is prohibited. We thank you for listening to today's contest as we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming on WVUR The Source 95 Valparaiso, the official home of Beacon Athletics.